Back to another Interstellar Gateway stream. Now, it's been a few days since the previous Starship launch attempt, which, as you will have noticed, didn't go ahead. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but we're here again to bring you the second attempt, which is just under 2.5 hours from now. Now, this is booster 15 and ship 34 that are due to fly, and we'll hope it does. I'm joined by a few of my co-hosts here. We've got Joshua, Miranda, Crayons, and Kay. If you'd like to all say a few words, Joshua.
For sure. I'm Joshua. You might know me as Anti-Person on Twitter or X. And I'm happy to be here. I'm hoping we catch a booster today.
Now we've got the fabled Miranda with us.
Hi, I'm Miranda. You might also know me as Miranda on Twitter. Surprising nobody. Yeah, I am looking forward to hopefully seeing a flight today.
We've also got the legendary Crayons with us from the YouTube chat itself.
Hello, everybody. You may know me as I Eat Crayons from Twitter, and I am really hoping to see a beautiful catch today.
And of course, we're joined by the one and only Kay, videographer special.
What's up, everybody? Kay here, known as just the letter K and or Kay Anagonio. Video for Interstellar Gateway, documentarian, and happy to be here. Hope to see a beautiful catch. Looks like the weather is gorgeous today, so happy to be here with everybody. Thanks for having us.
It's better than last time, and I'm, of course, Quantify. I'm an aerospace engineering student and a general space nerd. So it should be a good lineup today. At least keep some interesting conversation. Tell us where you're watching from, how you guys are doing. So we're at 2 hours, 25 minutes until launch. Now, the previous attempt did unfortunately have to be scrubbed. The actual reasons for that are a little bit funky. Does anyone want to talk about those?
Sure. So the one thing that we did get from Elon Musk of all people is slightly low spin start pressure. Which is basically the Raptor engines. In order to be started, those pumps do need to be spun up initially, and that's done with gaseous nitrogen. And that pressure was, according to him, about 20 bar too low. So it could be anything from sensor issues to restrictions of the plumbing, or God only knows. But that's the reason that was given for the previous scrub. There were possibly a couple other things, but nothing I can touch on.
Yeah, just for context here, 20 bar is 20 times atmospheric pressure, so that's a hell of a lot of pressure to be lacking. So obviously that kind of thing will cause some serious issues.
Yeah, that's not a small jump at all.
Small jump at all. I think it's kind of easy to forget about how insanely high the magnitudes of pressures are when you're working with a vehicle as big as this. I mean, especially with the thousands of tons of fuel we're carrying. As I recall, I think the hold just at T-minus 40 seconds was due to... There was a fair few issues between the ship and booster that did get ironed out. But I think they were software related, or at least some of them were software related. We heard something about system states on the booster, so some kind of system configuration. But either way, even if they did get them ironed out, by the time they did, it'd been something like 10 minutes, and the temperatures were starting to creep out of that ideal range, obviously, because you can't keep that much fuel cold for that long, and the pressures were starting to drop on GSE, so it wasn't safe for flight, so they had to scrub it. Now, unfortunately, after they scrubbed it, in their kind of desacking investigation operations, they ended up causing a little bit of damage to the hot stage ring. So that had some minor repairs and inspections just before this stacking attempt, but it's now stacked in one piece, at least we hope it is, and hopefully they'll be going ahead for a launch. So, if you hadn't seen our previous stream, we may as well talk about some of the objectives for this specific flight. So this is very much a reflight of Launch Attempt 7, which obviously ended quite dramatically. The Starship ended up exploding right off the coast of the Bahamas, and that was a pretty tremendous sight if you were watching that on Twitter. So much of the, X even, so much of the objectives for that flight are being completely repeated. So the goals are pretty simple. We're looking for another booster catch, which hopefully we'll have on our fantastic cameras, which I have to say are looking really minty today. We've got Starlink simulators, so these are mass simulators that are shaped like Starlink, that'll be shot out the side of Ship 34 in that little Pez dispenser thing. We've also got a Raptor relay, which will qualify the ship for on-orbit operations. Obviously, it has to prove that it's able to deorbit itself, so as not to pose a hazard to other orbital traffic, and that's only done by restarting your engine. So if that goes well, then it's possible we could see a Starship orbital shot. We've also got the chance for a relatively dynamic entry. So if you'll take a look at the Starship, you'll see that there's going to be a bunch of little divots inside the thermal protection system. We'll have some even better shots of that later for you, but those are essentially stripped back tiles and various thermal experiments that are being run around Starship, just to investigate the effects of thermal flux on less shielded areas, and to determine what kind of shielding is really necessary. We also know that SpaceX are testing ablative blankets, which are a backup system to the regular tiles, and also possibly active cooling. So that's something that they're investigating as well. So,
Yeah, that's not. Sorry, go on.
no, go on, Miranda. I've talked enough.
Yeah,
for
that
one
active that active cooling is pretty interesting because that's something they were aiming to take advantage of on previous iterations of Starship, ITS, I believe in particular. So if that test goes well, I mean, we could very well see, if not a full like transpirationally cooled heat shield, like perhaps they could replace some of the tiles on the side with that sort of active metal tile, which would be pretty interesting to see. It's something they previously rolled out. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Just for the less scientifically minded viewers, does anyone want to talk about what transpiration cooling actually is and how it could work?
Yeah, if somebody else wants to take that, or I can.
Go around the table, per se? Or I can talk. I know everyone loves hearing me talk.
Yeah, go for it. Better talking than I am.
I reckon I will. Oh, thank you, Miranda, but that's not true. We've got, what can I say? We've got world-class commentators. So, transpirational cooling is pretty cool. Essentially, it's the idea of making Starship sweat through loads of little holes placed throughout the skin. That would hypothetically work better than a traditional ceramic heat shield. Servicing tiles is a little bit of a pain. Producing them is a little bit of a pain. The goal with Starship is really to be maintainable most anywhere in the solar system, preferably Mars. So the simpler you can get the system, the better. Transpirational cooling is one of those things where you could use some kind of light gas and pump that through little holes and pump it at extremely low temperatures and use that to redirect plasma away from the actual skin of the vehicle. That was what SpaceX really originally wanted to do, what they were originally looking at when they were messing around with all of their designs. It does pose a lot of plumbing and engineering challenges, but it does mean a pretty good weight savings, and it is just a cool thing to do. We've got a fantastic shot of this thermal protection system here from, of course, our background camera operator, Emlyn. And you can probably see a lot of those little divots in the heat shield. If you take a look around, you'll see just little spots that seem oddly kind of dug out. Those are where tiles have been either removed or stripped down, and those areas are going to be surrounded in sensors. The SpaceX have been doing an absolute ton of research into how best to optimize their thermal protection system. Obviously, thermal protection system being what shields the Starship during re-entry, the hottest part of flight. And what they're doing is trying to validate their simulations to make sure they've got good data, and also to figure out how much tile they exactly need, because it may be that they've over-engineered this. That's why you can see some funky kind of placement of tiles as well around the fins. Miranda, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since this is the first, since the previous flight was the first attempt at flying a Block 2 ship, and didn't get all the way through re-entry, it's very possible that this flight will be pretty instrumental in helping them and figure out just how many tiles they can remove on the Block 2 ship.
Very possible. Now, obviously, we've got a good launch lined up. We've got to get all of that on camera. And I know that Kay is very, very interested in that side of things. So, Kay, you want to tell us a bit more? I've also heard chatter about this dino cam. What is this dino cam people are speaking of?
Yes, so let me do a quick breakdown of what we've got out at the pad currently. There are several, oh my god, there's the dyno cam. There are several PTZ point tilt zoom cameras that we have that are being controlled offsite by our amazing man behind the curtain, Emlyn. And those are giving you these amazing views live from Starbase right now. Along with that, we have some Canon R5 Mark 2s and 3s and all the good things out there that are being remotely triggered by essentially sound. So Brandon is on site currently, and he has set up those so that whenever ship launches and booster comes back, those cameras are intended to fire. And he's been doing this for several years out at Kennedy Space Center, and so grateful to have him on our team out at Starbase. And then you are seeing our new dyno cam.
We've got Emlyn trying to set it up, I'm afraid, right now.
Emlyn's trying to get it set up, but you will eventually see our dyno cam, and once that pops up, I will speak a bit more about that. But in addition to those Canons and the PTZs, we've also got several GoPros and Ace Pros out at the pad that we've figured out mechanisms to keep them on, running, and cool because the weather out at Starbase is quite intense. It can get, pretty low and cold and windy, or it can be over 100 degrees out there. So the the setup for these cameras is we've tried to fine tune it over the past several flights. We've been filming out at Starbase since Flight 3 was our first flight. So over the past year, we've been out there and excited to do more stuff. And I really want to talk about this dyno cam when Emlyn gets it set up
You know
properly.
what? Okay, let me show you a magic trick. I bet if I think really hard about that dyno cam, it's going to show up on the screen for our
You
viewers.
might be right,
Oh my
sir.
god!
Oh my
Would you
god!
Look at that.
It's a Starship miracle.
Haha.
This is
So-
the stuff you only get on Interstellar Gateway, man.
Exactly. So what you're seeing right now is our dyno cam. It is an FBI grade ballistics gel in the shape of a dinosaur, and his name is Ballisticosaurus Rex. I have put a collar on him made out of duct tape, and you will see one of our Interstellar Gateway tags on him so that it is easily identifiable as ours. So we have set him out at the pad for science, just to see what might happen if, say, a human was stood this close to the pad and the tower for launch and booster catch. Because we're curious humans, and we've crafted up some ideas, and this was the first of many ideas that we thought of. And so I think it'll be interesting to get the results of what happens to our little dino friend out there.
It does sound like a really immoral experiment, though.
Well,
It is
it's,
awful.
here we are. I just got curious one day. I was like, yo, what if we, I grew up watching Mythbusters, and they used to do a bunch of these like tests where they would like shoot the ballistic dummies just to see what would happen like at different ranges with different caliber weapons. And I was like, yo, what if we like put like a medical dummy out at the pad? We haven't quite gotten there, but we are currently at the ballistic gel iteration of the experiment. So we'll see what happens.
Well, luckily, we've actually got someone in the commentator deck who's close enough that they'll have a similar experience, but not quite the same as that dino. And that is, of course, our very own Brandon, who's sitting here. Brandon, want to say a few words? How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm out here in hot, sunny Texas looking at Starship 24 or 34 out on the pad. And honestly, I just really wish that I was where Ballisticosaurus Rex is right now. I would totally volunteer to be sitting out there if it was legal, and I don't care about the physical ramifications to my body.
I feel like SpaceX's legal team might not be terribly pleased.
They'd come
quite fun.
for us. They'd come for us, but in a dream world, there I am.
Dude, imagine a barbecue out there, man. Oh my god, flipping
That would
flipping
slap.
sausages or watching
Wait,
that.
wait, I have ideas. we should
Oh,
just
God.
spit roast a chicken at Flight 9. Come on.
Flight 9 chicken. Can we
Flight
get a
9 chicken.
I
town?
believe both Firefly and Ursa Major have lit birthday candles with rocket engines, so I don't see why we couldn't do actual food as well.
Let's give it a go.
Put a
That'd be pretty
rotisserie
cool.
chicken out there.
If you've thought about it, we're probably gonna do it. So
God.
We got $2 from Space Vulture in chat. How many cans of WD-40 will the tower need after? That's a
Oh, we've
good
got an
question.
engineering-minded person in here. Crayons, give me an educated shot. How many cans of WD-40 do you reckon it'd take to fix the launch mount on the tower?
Well, considering how big it is, I would say at least 2. Those cans go quite a long way. I'm gonna be honest. They go and they go and they go.
To be fair,
and
my
they
dad's had
do
2
wonders.
cans in his life, I think, and they've done him just fine.
Exactly. There's a fundamental theorem. They don't teach you this. There's a fundamental theorem that says you only ever need 2 cans of WD-40. However, there is
Not
another
heard that
just
one in my
as val. Oh, it's true. It's true. There's another one that says you will never be able to find the second can, no matter how hard you look.
Oh my god. Oh, that's awful. No, you know what I can't find? You know the little plastic nozzle that comes with the cans of WD-40? I lose those within a day. I think
Well, yeah,
I've
they're only
resorted to
supposed to be used
manufacturing
once.
my own. Are they? I don't believe you.
Okay. Well, there's nowhere to attach them to the can that's not on it. So when you take it off, what are you supposed to do? Tape it back? That's
no,
not
no,
happening.
because it comes
Aren't
in
there?
it comes in
Aren't
like
there
a little
those
tape.
the newer? Yeah, don't the newer cans have like one of those flippy downy things that you just press it against the side
Oh,
of
they
the
do.
can?
It's the greatest technological innovation since Starship, man.
I
Honestly.
completely forgot about those. Those will save the entire space launch industry. I'm telling you.
Dude,
True.
I can
honestly.
kind of give some context to anybody in stream who might be a little bit lost with this conversation. What the comment was referencing to with the WD-40 reference. Yesterday, out at Pad A in Starbase, during lifting operations of Starship, stacking the ship onto the booster, the railway clamps, which move the chopsticks up and down the tower, decided to start making just this god-awful screaming noise that was just totally off nominal, and
It's
that
only
was shortly followed.
phenomenal.
That was not normal, and that was shortly followed by a couple of loud bangs, which hit the deck there at the launch pad, and yeah, Starship overall did not have a good day during stacking yesterday. What wound up happening, at least per our knowledge, is they did lose a bearing of sorts on the track of the chopsticks, which kind of caused a little bit of instability and wobbling in the lower, or the upper or lower left hand side of the chopstick track, which was causing a lot of that noise and caused a lot of the vibrations there in the tower. And then shortly after, a bunch of parts started falling off ship and booster, and luckily they were able to get that all fixed at the pad yesterday and get ship stacked in time for launch today.
I gotta say, man, I'm not a superstitious person, but I don't have a good feeling about this launch.
Listen, we don't
What?
need your negativity here, so
It's
We're
not
gonna be-
negativity. It's
I know.
just
It's just being
observation.
realistic.
It's observation.
that's fair. I do love realism. We have $2 from Aeroplane Specialist asking what 2 + 2 is.
I don't know how to spin that into a joke, man.
I don't either. I'm
I
not.
gotta give you some
clever
material,
enough.
man. Give me
Not
2 to
clever
3
enough.
business days. Actually, crayons. Have you got anything?
I do actually know the answer.
Right,
It's 5.
that's not right.
Can
It's
we get a
not
fact
right.
check on that? Can we get a fact check?
I think that's disinformation. I'm not happy.
Fact checked by real American patriots. Fact check
Disinformation.
true.
No.
Nice stream. Oh, Lord.
I did want to touch on, because I don't think we were able to talk about what happened since. I mean, we've talked about it on the X account, on the Interstellar Gateway account, but
Also, you should go follow.
yes, you should definitely follow it. Should we talk about where the blimp ended up? Because
Oh my
that was
God. The
quite a
blimp.
situation.
We completely
So-
forgot about the blimp.
For those that don't know, there is a Border Patrol blimp that flies around South Padre to kind of monitor people and things. I don't really know what that blimp does. I'm just not in tune with like government operations. But at the last launch attempt, something happened to that blimp, and it ended up kind of nosediving into some power lines, which then shut off power at South Padre Island. Which I was making some jokes saying like, "Oh my gosh, imagine you're a videographer trying to get to the roof of Margaritaville," which is kind of where a bunch of different entities kind of set up. And being stuck in the elevator because the power went out on your way up to the roof. I mean, that's like nightmare fuel for me personally. But that being said, apparently the blimp regained flight and flew itself untracked, and like nobody knew where this thing ended up. Turns out it made it all the way to Dallas, Texas from Brownsville. That is not a short
Like
distance,
what?
my friend.
A few hundred miles, right?
Several.
I think, yeah, there we go.
500 miles
that.
north.
500 miles. A
500
blimp,
miles.
like unobstructed, like just flew itself 500 miles casually to Dallas. It said, "I'm out of here." It said, "If we're not launching this thing today, I'm leaving," and it did.
That is too much, man. Well, I have to say my vision's been caught by the pretty colours on the right hand of my screen. We got $5 from Coffee Candy. Thank you very much for that, Coffee Candy. I can live with some good food tonight. What's 9 plus 10? You know, funny that I've seen people not knowing what the answer to that meme is.
I'm pretty sure it's 21.
It is, yeah, it is 21. You're right, but I'm starting to see like more and more people online not know the answer, and now I'm starting to feel old, and I'm barely in university. I'll speak
Real quick, guys.
Go on.
I do want to interrupt. I do have to jump off stream here in just a couple of minutes. Got a couple of more ops here on my end. I got to get ready and prepared for
leaving us.
liftoff of Flight 8. So I got to jump off and start getting gear prepped and get going for our camera views here in Starbase, Texas.
Godspeed to you,
It's been
Brandon.
a pleasure having you here, Brandon.
We
Yep,
appreciate
good luck
you.
on
Yeah.
stream. I'll be listening. I love all of you guys. Everyone listening, we love you so much. I love you so much. We do this for you. We do this for everybody in the community, and we want to help this community grow, and we want Interstellar Gateway to inspire the world. So thank you for helping us inspire the world. I'm going to go out here and try and catch some really cool stuff for everybody, and have a good launch. Let's get launchy.
See you on the other side, Brandon.
See you, man. So then, unfortunately, we've got 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 23 seconds. So speaking of words beginning with I, Intuitive Machines have had another interesting landing attempt.
Oh yeah, worth noting. Their press conference was about 20 minutes ago. I'm not sure if it's still ongoing. But yeah,
Have we
that
got any
was.
data from that.
I would have to go and check, but from what I do know already, it was quite the landing. Landing being a rather generous term. It appears that they repeated their previous feat of landing sideways on the surface.
It's possible. It's possible. We'll check the data now from the press conference. But, so Miranda, you want to tell us a bit more about Intuitive Machines? Because I'm not sure everyone's aware of the funny first landing that they had.
Right, so their first attempt at landing Nova C, which is the name of their lander, went pretty sideways in a very literal sense. Their lander fell over at touchdown, and they were not able to get a full mission out of that, just because of their solar panels are obviously designed to point up to get sun. And when you're on your side, most of those solar panels are obstructed. So what they had to do is shut off instruments and had a pretty vastly shortened lifespan, which granted it was only supposed to last about 12 days, the life cycle of one lunar day. But I don't think they even made that, if memory serves.
Yeah, it was tight. I remember reading their technical documentation about what side their antennas were on, and they were not quite pointed the right way, were they?
Right.
Oh, look
so
at
the
that.
clips. What's up?
No, we've got it on stream here. It's balancing on a 3D print of itself. I remember this.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I
that's
believe that was from flight. I believe that was from Nova C Mission 1.
Yep.
But yeah, no, their antennas were definitely not pointed the right way, which is actually something that another company that Ride shared on this launch had to deal with. Astroforge, their Odin spacecraft did not have a great time either. They did call time of death, I believe, today. They did give a whole mission update. But in short, they were rotating at deployment, and they were not able to stabilize that. Only made very brief contact a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've now reached the stage where their position error is so high they don't know where to point their antennas, so communication's pretty
Right.
hopeless.
Yeah.
I did want to mention. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to mention with the press conference that is still ongoing. As far as we can tell right now, both NASA and Intuitive Machines are kind of putting on a brave face. They confirmed that the lander is not upright on the surface of the moon.
Amazing!
And they are attempting to save the experiments aboard the lander currently. So, not a lot of information to go off of other than it's not upright.
Yeah,
by
process of elimination, if it's not upright. Yeah.
Something's not right, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, we are joined by someone very, very special, very, very dear to us, our very own Perigi Aerospace, who is going to take a bit of a backseat. But Perigi, if you're here, you want to say a word?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Perigi Aerospace. You may know me from my recent knee surgery, which apparently everyone has been talking about in chat. I'm here. I'm just chilling. Obviously, given the surgery at hand, I'm not going to be the most active this stream, but I'll be here. I'll be chilling. I'll be talking. Thank you guys for hanging out and listening to us. Have we gone over all of the super chats that we've gotten in the stream recently?
I believe we're up to date.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. It looks like Quantify is going to drop out here for a second, so I guess I am running point here. So I'm glad we got a brief cameo from Mr. Painkiller G. And yeah, Paranee. Thank you very much, Joey.
Thank you.
Yep. So moving on, we went over IM-2. We went over Astroforge Odin. There is actually another spacecraft on that launch. This is really shaping up to be a cursed launch, but NASA and I believe JPL collaborated on this one. Lunar Trailblazer, I believe, is having propulsion issues, which was ride sharing along with those other two satellites. I think the only satellite or the only spacecraft on that launch that is not having problems is Epic Aerospace's Chimera GEO transfer vehicle, and that's carrying a couple of rideshare payloads. That is taking a rather weird trajectory, just because that rideshare opportunity was available. And so they're starting out in like a orbit very intended for lunar transfer, and then they are moving around a little bit to geostationary orbit. And as far as we know, that spacecraft is doing just fine so far. But the other three have all had problems. Yeah. And it looks like we are just shy of T-minus 2 hours on Flight 8.
Well, I do have some cool information that
Oh.
I've just posted in the Slack channel. The Maritime Safety Interdiction aircraft is now up and operating in the airspace. I posted an image of the flight track. If that's more convenient for you, Emlyn, the tracking number. This aircraft is basically just, part of the thing that makes sure that there are absolutely no boats in the LZ area, and for both, and it's just the launch site in general. As we all know, boats are evil, and demons.
We have had a few horrible encounters with boats. I remember, especially in the Falcon 9 days, the amount of scrubs they'd had due to some fishermen trundling into the keep out area. Awful.
Exactly. Now that we're much more back on that front, hopefully we can start to see things ramping up soon. Oh boy. Thank you, Mr. Aeroplane Specialist, for giving us $5 and saying, if this gets 5 likes, Perigi changes his name to Paranee. Incredible.
Just so you know, I have liked that super chat, Perigi, for your information, my friend.
Hold on, what?
I have liked that super chat.
No,
Ooh,
no, no,
more
no,
than
please,
5 likes.
Please, don't make me become Parony,
I have
okay?
also liked that super chat. I
It's
agree with the
up to
message.
We're at 7
6
likes.
now!
We're at 7 likes now. Steadily
Alright,
climbing.
well, okay. Alright, fine. Twitter.com. Go
There
into
we
my
go.
name. You all suck. Okay, fine.
This
Bear
is
with
there should be a warning that you can bully Perigi into anything for $5.
For enough money,
must-
yeah.
That's
Must get the
Miranda.
people what
This
they
is true.
want.
So, if you'll forgive me to talk about Starship for just a few
Please.
seconds in this Starship-oriented stream, we're at T-minus 1 hour 58 minutes. I'm not a very patient man, but luckily we do have an interesting event soon. At T-minus 1 hour 15 minutes, we're expecting the SpaceX flight director to conduct their poll. And if that goes well, and if all the stations are happy, then we'll be going for propellant load. And that will start at around 45 minutes-ish before launch. We do have a little way to go before then, of course. All the ground equipment will be kind of steadying up and priming and testing itself as they usually do. But until then, we're going to be here reading chats and talking and hopefully keeping you company. We've got some great views, of course. Really fantastic views that we spent some time fine-tuning today. And, of course, Joey Leal with 10
The
bucks.
man, the myth, the legend.
That is who was in this voice chat at this time, by the way, with Perry.
He has effectively just given money to
He
himself.
has given money to himself. In fact, no, he's lost a
Incredible.
little bit of money because of YouTube's cut.
I'm actually giving it
tax
to
write-off?
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Joey, you just spent $5 for no reason.
I spent $5 to publicize Perony.
Oh,
Well, good
God.
news, guys. I've got another $5 now from Aeroplane Specialist, who wants Perry to make a post about it if this gets 5 likes. Unfortunately, it's now received 5 likes within seconds.
And of course, immediately the 5 likes.
Absolutely immediately.
Okay,
I do have to say, just reading back in the chat, there was one message from a fellow named Astria who said, for how good these views are, you guys deserve far more subs. I will say, there is something you can do to change that, of course, and that is to share the
Indeed.
stream with your friends, your family, your teachers, your students. Maybe not your grandparents. Not sure how interested they'd be, but if they are, then they're ahead. Go for it. But seriously, share this around. Share around our X page. We do post some good stuff, and we do put effort into this. So bring some more people into here. Let's keep this chat active and interesting.
Personally, my grandfather is so stoked that I get the opportunity to film these launches, so I know he's going to be tuning in.
Hell yeah! Honestly, bring everyone. Bring your long lost cousins.
Exactly. Go on a years-long quest of personal discovery, and bring back your found family. And
As long as you subscribe to Interstellar Gateway at the end of it, I'll permit it. Just this
Indeed.
once.
But yeah, thank you guys. The more you support the channel, the more we will be able to do future streams like this, and we will be able to potentially add more cameras at the pad, so you guys can continue to get amazing views that are absolutely insane to see. I mean, I just look at these shots, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good weather out here, actually. Much better than the previous attempt. And speaking of previous attempts, Flight 7, we've touched on a little bit, but if you weren't here for the last stream, and if you've been living somewhat under a rock, SpaceX announced what they think was the cause of the failure on Flight 7. They're still trying to figure out what exactly the precise root cause was, but so far what they've identified is it was some kind of harmonic resonance issue. So if you're unaware, resonance is essentially when you have 2 waves or 2 or more waves compounding and adding to each other to create one much bigger wave. So, if you're playing music in your car and you get a certain frequency and the windows start vibrating, it's that kind of thing, but on a much bigger scale this time, of course, because this is an orbital class rocket. That, when it happens in the attic of a rocket's engine compartment, can cause some pretty serious issues. Of course, you've got loads of really sensitive pipes, loads of plumbing, loads of pumps. When all of that starts to shake itself to pieces, you will get leaks. As those leaks develop, your pressure's going to rise, it's going to be sensitive to sparking, to fires, and eventually you will end up with a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. So that is what happened last time. Obviously, the vehicle was completely lost. This time, as I recall, they've added some more venting capacity and also changed the hoses that they're using on various fuel lines to hopefully make that just a little bit more resilient. You can see here now we've got actually a view of the hot stage ring looking up into the engine kind of compartment. So that's what's really been, investigated and simulated to try and identify what exactly the resonances are causing.
The
And
thing
as
that
part
gets
of-
me. Go ahead, Miranda.
As part of that investigation, they did do a 60-plus second static fire on this particular vehicle in an attempt to kind of figure out, okay, we're gonna try 3 different configurations of flex hoses on our vacuum engines and see which one does the best. And they were able to take that and go, okay, this one performs the best. Let's change out the other 2 with that, and that's what are on the vehicle today. So hopefully that harmonic resonance has at least been reduced, if not completely eliminated.
Pressure and
first of all-
vibration. Oh, go on.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say, Buzz Krogan, $20
see
super chat in the stream.
Buckaroonies.
Oh man, best Starship stream. Thank you. That is very kind. Please be sure to share it with everybody. And a $2 super chat from Max West. Go Excelia. Godspeed Ames 33. So I just wanted to say, Flight 7, just touching on that. I know that SpaceX has cams of the explosion, and I'm dying to just see.
Oh, they have so many more cams than they show us. If only you knew. It's awful.
Flight 7 recap video, I was like waiting. I was waiting for them to show it, and they didn't. They showed nothing. And I was
Sometimes
like, wow.
you can see, sometimes I can see little snippets that aren't blurred in their kind of post-launch videos, and I'm positive that they know they aren't blurred and are just teasing us. They have to be.
Yeah.
When you think about how heavily these
It's
videos
on
are
purpose.
reviewed. Yeah, seriously. I
It's
think
so
these-
on purpose.
Wow,
There are many things that I wish they would show.
Another $20 super chat from Aeroplane Specialist. Parony is a knee now. Thank you. Thank you guys so much
Why
for
is
supporting.
it that consistently the best way for us to raise money from these streams is for one of our hosts to either get drunk or have something strange happen to them?
That's
Something
the
strange. It's not
way.
even strange,
Well,
man.
yeah.
I just had surgery.
Knee surgery. I'd say that's pretty strange, to be fair. If we're talking about like peculiar, out of the ordinary things, I don't really have knee surgery on a regular basis,
I would damn well hope not.
Perigi.
Well, I mean,
Perigi,
I'm doing great. I'm doing all right.
Perigi, I have an important question. How many
Yes.
likes on a super chat for you to change your name to Perony Aerosurgery?
Oh my god.
Okay, here's the deal, chat. Share this to everyone you know and get the stream to 100 likes and 100 viewers concurrent, and I'll do it. I'll do it.
You heard
Share
that,
the
chat.
stream
You
around,
heard it
get us
here.
to 100 concurrent, and I'll do it. I'll do it. 100. Okay, you know what? 150 concurrent, and I will keep it that way for a week.
For a week? That's a long time, Verity.
Exactly.
You heard the man.
Exactly. I
These
will
are the
have a
demands.
verified checkmark as Perry Knee Aerosurgery, and that'll be there for a week if you get us to 150 viewers. You know what to do, chat.
Absolutely. Joey, I'm not sure if you are seeing the chat right now, but Space Vulture said, IRL stream where Joey goes up to Starship and slaps an IGW sticker onto one of the engine bells. What over-under on you doing that, sir? I think he's about to be a bit incapable of using his voice chat feature. He's crashing out. He's crashing out.
He's crashing out. He's
Yeah.
crashing out. Joey crashed out live.
I was gonna say there have been 3 attempts by random people to claim to go up into Starbase and claim to be married to Elon Musk in an attempt to evade security.
Wow.
It is.
Do you
It
reckon
would
I
be
could
very
fool them?
funny. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's worth a 4th try, I would say.
That's
That's
to be fair,
wild.
Social manipulation is the greatest form of hacking there is, isn't it?
Indeed.
Always
And you know what
nice.
I do to get into places I'm not supposed to go? I just carry a ladder. Like, nobody's going to stop somebody that's carrying a ladder. Like, obviously, I'm going to do a thing or solve a problem or change a light bulb. And do you know how many light bulbs are in the Mega Bay?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good
Thousands.
question for you. How many light
True.
bulbs are in the Mega Bay? It's like the how many wheels are there in a world question.
I think I actually have a text message with that answer. Let me just...
The trouble is, will you count as a light bulb? Is an LED pixel a light bulb?
Good question. It's technically a light fixture, right?
I guess it's a light fixture. I guess it's not really a bulb. Well, it depends what a bulb is. Is a bulb a little enclosure? Because LEDs have little enclosures.
True.
They're just
All I
a
know is
European enclosure.
that somebody, I won't say who, didn't like the hue of the lighting, and so they changed every light in that mega bay for night, 24 hours.
I think I can take a guess who that somebody was.
I wonder.
Also, if I bounce up Frida's chat, someone mentioned pogo oscillations, which is a pretty funny thing to happen. It might be a term some of you are unfamiliar with. Essentially, sometimes rockets shake themselves to bits vertically. What can happen is you get small variations in thrusts, and so the frame starts to very slightly just stretch and squeeze. And as that happens, and as the acceleration changes, that instability makes the change in thrust even bigger, and so it starts growing bigger and bigger, and it's kind of a closed cycle, right? It keeps pogoing and pogoing, and that can cause some massive structural issues and rip things to pieces. That hasn't really happened with Starship. It has happened with other kind of heavy launch vehicles. But Starship's just really had the problem of shaking itself to bits through vibrations rather than through kind of large structural oscillations.
TSE is again giving us a reminder that the harmonic resonance that affected Flight 7 is not pogo oscillations. These are two different things, Mr. Engineer.
Mr. Engineer is freaking out, thinking I'm about to spread world-class disinformation on an IGW stream. I can confirm I do read Wikipedia sometimes, so we're mostly in the clear.
Exactly. And of course, the ever-lovely Crans would like to remind us that that hasn't happened yet. That's Flight 10.
If we get, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen on this flight, man, but I'm paranoid. And I do have to point out, we have just, the stream gods have heeded my call. We now have a poll in the chat, which you'd like to vote on. How many light bulbs in the Mega Bay? Got 4 options there. You may vote now, electronically. How cool is that, man? We've got technology.
That poll is pretty cool. I would like to say they forgot the most important option. At least 10.
I feel like
there are at least
I don't
10
know. I
light
feel like
bulbs in
they've
there.
probably got I feel like they've probably got a lot of small ones rather than a few eyes of Saurus. You know, 100,000 lumen light bulb shining straight into the Mega Bay.
One big light bulb.
Very nine asks, is there someone from SpaceX on the stream? If anyone gave you that impression, then that's a compliment to them. No, we're just all nerds.
Or is it disappoint?
We're nerds and we have some friends that may know some things.
It's possible. We've also got some really nice shots. So we're pretty happy actually with the cameras we've got.
Yeah, I've been consistently impressed by our camera views. There are once SpaceX does go live, you might notice that some of our views do rival some of SpaceX's, which I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that, given that we operate there with express permission from them, and we have very limited resources, and they're of course SpaceX. So I think we're doing all right. Of course, you can only do that with funding. That's why we appreciate all of your support. These cameras aren't cheap.
And just to note,
cameras on the vehicles.
Just to piggyback off of that, yeah, like he said, we do set our cameras in the areas that we are allowed to set them in. Please do not trespass on SpaceX property. If you go down there to see a launch or before a launch or after a launch, please be very mindful of their restricted areas, because more people that do trespass across their property line, the more restrictions they will put in place. They will eventually put fencing up, and we don't want that. We would like to have it open as much as possible for as long as possible, so that it doesn't turn into a facility like, we love obviously NASA and Kennedy Space Center, but it's not as easy to access these areas out there as it is at Starbase currently. So we are very grateful for the opportunity and the collaboration with SpaceX to be able to provide these views for you guys. So just a big thank you to SpaceX, and please do be mindful if you guys do go out there.
Especially
not to mention that it's sorry.
Oh no, I'll quickly say this. It does look rather empty out on stream, but some of these areas are genuine refuge lands. The mudflats especially, they're home to a fair few species. So do check kind of travel maps before you go. Check travel advisories. Make sure you can be where you're actually going, because this is a super sensitive region.
Yeah, poke around as long as you're being very careful and respect the land. There's a lot of people who leave trash and stuff around. Don't be one of those people. As long as you treat everything well, you will continue to be able to.
Just
Please
answering a
don't
few
try to touch
things.
the Starship.
Yes, indeed. Just a few things coming from the chat. Imlin, on your end, we have people asking if we can equalize our mic levels. So if you can adjust those a bit on your end, that would be lovely. Because we obviously can't, really adjust. For example, can't hear myself, so I don't know how loud I am in comparison. But we will have Imlin take care of that a bit. Thank you, Blake, for adjusting that. Then Max West asks, have you reached out to SpaceX to ask if you can put a camera on the tower? Max, if you've thought about it, we probably thought about it. Just know that. And we are, working on several things down the line for future launches. But you never know what's going to happen, and you never know what Interstellar Gateway is going to be up to. For example, I would just like to jump back over, Emlyn, if we could put the our fun little dino cam back on the screen just for a second. I would love to show that fun little guy up there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're just joining the stream, first of all, if you have questions, please let us know. We would love to answer those questions as we go. And shortly, popping up on your screen, you will see our friend who is known as Ballisticsaurus Rex. And there he is, right there.
Look at that. Wonders if
Look at him. So, Ballisticsaurus Rex is actually an FBI grade ballistics gel that we put out at the pad just to see what might happen during a launch if, say, you were stood out there. So this is for science and for entertainment purposes. So, yes. And he's got a little collar on him with one of our Interstellar Gateway tags that you can see in the bottom right corner, which we have on all of our cameras, by the way.
This feels so cruel.
I feel bad for the little guy.
It gets worse every time you pan over to him. We've just left him
He's
there behind a rock.
gonna be fine.
He didn't ask for this.
You don't know. He could be very, very happy. He could be absolutely loving it.
Interstellar animal cruelty way.
Listen, he's
no.
loving his position on the team, and we are grateful for his sacrifice.
Exactly. We're paying him very well.
We are paying him
Wait,
very well.
He's getting paid? Where's my
Wait,
money?
you guys are getting paid? Yeah, for
He's
your
getting
super
paid in
chats, so we can
experience.
be. If you guys keep giving us super chats, we will continue doing crazy scientific experiments.
I feel
Exactly.
like we might not see a paper written on this particular experiment, I have to admit. I'm not convinced.
Well.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm just reading chat, so I've got someone, Andy79, hi from Germany, another night shift to see the launch. Oh, enjoy it, man. Welcome. I'm in Europe. I'm staying up a little bit late for this as well. Where are you guys watching from? Tell us where you're watching from in the chat. See what kind of range of countries. We've got a range of countries, well, very limited range in this kind of commentating booth, but let's find out what the chat is like. And just a recap on the count now. We're at T-minus 1 hour, 41 minutes. The next event of interest is at T-minus 1 hours and 15 minutes, so not far away at all. That, of course, will be the go-no-go poll for propellant load. Oh, here we go. We've got some results. Shall I someone read these out? Come on, let's nominate someone. Who nominates themselves? The geographic commentator.
I can definitely talk
Go
about
on, George,
geography.
it's a dramatic reading.
I got this. So
Dramatic reading, please, sir.
let's see here. Miranda, Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Amazing. Gloopy, Northern Illinois. Get up there. Is it cold up there? Let us know. Lewis Nags, England. I'm sure we have a bunch of people from England. Not even just in the chat, but here in the commentary booth.
Sorry, Crayons, did you say you're currently live commentating from inside the ship?
Oh,
That would in fact be correct. Yes.
you gotta tell us
Currently
more
in the
about
ship,
that.
You have a camera
Let me
pointing
interrupt
at
the
me
spiel.
right now.
I'm going to have to interrupt the spiel really, really quickly, because speaking of other countries, I've got someone who is kind of travelling right now, or just about to travel. Joey, he's departing soon, but would you like to say a few words, Mr. Leal?
Yeah, I just left Brownsville, and I'm very, very sad to leave the team and leave all the equipment, but I stayed to help set up all the equipment. I just want to say I'm very proud of the team. Y'all have done a great job from the first attempt of this to the third and the fifth and the 10th or whatever this is now. I'll be on the plane, and hopefully I'll be watching, and I hope everybody enjoys this. Please just like, share, subscribe. This has been very fun to do. So good luck, team.
Thank you, Mr. Leal. Enjoy
you,
your
Joey.
travels, my friend.
Godspeed.
Hopefully the equipment will still be there when you're back. If
Uh,
all goes well.
Oh man.
Really
And
quick,
if
we got 10 euros from Andy79. Sorry, Kay.
wow. No, you're good.
Wow.
We're moving across borders with the currency. Let's go. We're gonna have to
course.
figure out a currency
So we
exchange
are.
situation. But yeah, I just want to
Exchange way.
yes, I want to give a big shout out to Joey Leal. He is the reason that we are all able to do what we are able to do. He is the CEO of Interstellar Gateway, and I for one, and I think I can speak on behalf of the entire team when I say big thank you for the life-changing opportunity that you've given all of us to be just super nerds and do what we love.
Dude, this is some super nerd stuff that I'm doing now, and I get to put this in my portfolio. It's awesome. We've got some more countries here. I think I might have to give you your job back, Mr. Joshua. That's why I very rudely kicked you out of it.
No, you are. I am fine with whatever, man. Listen,
Dude, you're just chilling, man. Happy to be here.
I'm just chilling. I'm just happy to be here. Listen. Looks like Perigee is in North Carolina. That's exciting. I'm sure we got a lot of East Coast. We even got some Space Coast in here with Kerbalistic. Finland, Scotland, Maryland, a lot of Lins. That's crazy. America, New York, Italy. Ooh, what's the weather over there in Italy right now? I'm sure it's pretty
Probably
warm. Here in the
beautiful.
States, it's pretty cold. Another England, Germany, India. Ooh, I wonder, again, with the weather, maybe it's just me being from the best state in the United States, Colorado.
Okay, man.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, man.
Represent.
Dude, I'm not even American,
But-
man, and I know that's
That is
not
a
true.
stretch.
Oh,
That is a bit
no,
of a
it's
stretch.
absolutely true. Are
Go
you
to
kidding
Michigan,
me?
buddy. Then we'll talk.
Michigan?
Yeah, go to
Whoa.
Oh,
Michigan.
you want to talk about a
Go to
mitten?
Michigan.
Nah.
Michigan is
Oh,
also
God.
so mid.
What?
What do
It
you
is,
what do you
it
got?
is so mid
Lakes?
that it is Midwestern. It is the most mid you can
This
get.
is messed
It's
up,
quite
man.
literally
It
in
does
the
not
name,
get more mid than
Midwestern. Literally,
Right.
literally.
Just go back to your stupid country stuff, Joshua. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe it's
man.
just because I'm from Colorado and our weather right now isn't the greatest. Probably better than England, but I'm sure the weather in India is amazing.
Weather here is just great.
Um,
Thank you very much.
I'm sure.
Gloomy
I'm
and gray
sure.
as ever.
No, actually, I went out today for the first time in 4 months wearing a t-shirt.
Oh, how
T-shirt.
exciting! A
I
T-shirt.
know,
Oh,
Speaks
wow.
volumes.
but it's awful
Speaks
now
volumes.
because all of the bugs are coming out.
Uh,
It's all gonna get worse.
They're gonna
Going
eat you
back-
alive.
Jumping back into our chat, Ben says Mega Bay probably uses LEDs, not bulbs. Good thought there.
It's possible. You
interesting,
think they
interesting.
figured that out?
Yeah, right. You think it'd be much easier. But I did hear from an insider that they did change all of the lighting to a different hue of white, which is just wild. Like, can you change the hex code of this white? Just
Listen,
crazy.
maybe I understand. I look at a computer screen and it gives
I
me a
know.
headache sometimes, you know? So, like,
Everything on my computer is in dark mode, and sometimes I have to go to a
Yeah.
website that doesn't have a dark mode, and it literally feels like the sun just illuminated my screen. It's
Now, what
brutal.
you've got to do is you've got to use a warming filter on your screen because they do work. I think all
Brutal.
the studies about blue light having like negative health effects are kind of stupid, but it is easier on your eyes, 100%.
if it's a placebo, if it's fake, at least my brain is registering that it's something different, you know?
Exactly. It doesn't
Yeah,
look
I
like
think
one.
the
All that
I think warmer LEDs becoming less and less popular has been a disaster for the human race.
Yes.
In particular, like I
Um,
know on a lot of trains around here in DC and back where I used to live in New York, the older models used a lot warmer lights, and those are being switched out for very stark, very cold blue LEDs.
Yikes. Jumping back into the chat, we have about 20 minutes to go, no go, yeah?
Yeah, just about.
we should.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Very
Oh,
exciting, very
exciting.
We've got one person in the chat, random2045, who's saying, "Hope it doesn't scrub. I'm out of sleep." Dude, do not torture yourself over big column of steel.
Here's-
It's not
here's
There
worth
will
it.
be more launches.
Here's the
Oh
issue.
my
If this launch were to scrub, I will have to emergency fly to Brownsville to help Brandon because there's no way.
If
that
this
he will
launch
be able to
scrubs,
do.
Joey
I'm
is
saying.
going to have the greatest crash out we have ever seen in history.
Crash
will
out
probably-
wouldn't even be enough to describe it,
Crash
man.
out to
It will be a
eat all
crash
crash
out of colossal magnitude. And
Joey's
speaking
will-
of
just gonna
which,
spontaneously
speaking of
combust.
colossal magnitude, I see a very big number on my screen, and that's number 10 from Blue. Welcome back. He's gifted
Hey.
10 Interstellar Gateway memberships. Very good to see you, Blue. Thank you very much for this. How are you doing? Look at that.
That's
More
incredible.
green names is
Thank
what we
you
like to
so
see.
much.
Yes, we love the members. Hey.
And Joey's just said, if it scrubs, IGW doesn't exist. That's a very heavy stake.
So yeah, now I'm nervous.
like that
It was
steak.
fine, but now I'm nervous. Wow, can we just take a
Joey,
second?
are you /J or SSRS?
Can we
Please,
just look at
Joey.
the sun glinting off of ship
Oh, that
right
is
now?
nice. That is tidy.
That is
Oh, so beautiful.
pretty.
Speaking of pretty, all of these camera shots that the team has made, good lord, chat, can we show some appreciation for the team in getting all of these
Yeah.
shots? Oh my lord.
Yeah, we have, of course, got the streaming god Emlyn working the PTZ knobs behind the scenes to try and give us some of these shots. And there are some good things coming out of here. And these are just really 2 cameras out of the whole picture. We've got a lot of other cameras placed around like all the launch site, really, wherever we can get them, to try and give you as many varied shots as we can. And if we've played our cards right, the shots for these launches will start getting better and better. I'm pretty excited for what this one will be.
Yeah. Mr. G is pointing out in our back channels that we do have 100 concurrent viewers at the moment. So
Oh,
thanks
no.
to all of you who are crazy enough to be listening to us an hour and a half before launch. It's very much appreciated.
Hey, Parony, you know what that means, right?
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
but there was
no,
another
doesn't
condition,
mean that,
wasn't there? We've
doesn't
got to
it?
get to 100
Oh,
likes as
yes.
well. We
Oh,
are
you're right, we're-
33
Yeah, 100
shy.
likes. Yeah, I gotta get to 100 likes
I
as
was
well.
gonna say. I was gonna
We're
say.
gonna be just
Oh.
fine.
No, can I say the phrase? Can I say the phrase? Am I allowed
Yes.
to?
Yes.
I don't know what the
Okay.
phrase is.
If you'd chat, if you'd be so kind as to quote unquote smash that like button,
Oh my god.
Are you
That,
excited?
I potentially even hit the notification bell. I mean,
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Perchance.
Um,
Perchance.
A
you know?
chance. If you'd be so
Can
inclined.
we throw up another poll? I just saw a comment that is quite interesting. Scrub or no scrub? Can we put a poll up,
Oh,
please?
for God's sake, we're tempting fate now. Come on. We're tempting
Oh,
fate.
no.
That's
We're just
that
gonna
is
watch it
risking
explode on the pad.
Oh no! If we won't be able to get our
Does-
cameras for days if that happens.
Here's the
Think of
question:
the battery charging.
does
Think of the batteries.
does a pad rud count as a scrub? Yay or nay?
I mean, you're
I
definitely
think
not
that's
launching.
the ultimate scrub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did the vehicle rise in altitude at all?
right.
Yeah, it would.
It's like,
If
part of
it
it did.
was.
what was it? Was it Titan that had that funny failure where it went off the pad and then kind of came down?
Yeah, it was.
That sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's a common Titan moment. Also,
A Redstone did
Um,
that too, right?
of
Yes,
course
yeah.
it did. Of course, all the earlier rockets
Shout
did.
out the 10-inch flight or whatever.
Can I
it
just
was.
say, I'm sorry, I'm in tears at the beauty on my screen right now before me. Just take a look at this. That is of course, the heat shield nose section of Starship, and this is just a fantastic view. You can see all those divots I was talking about before. It looks completely random. There is deliberate choice behind every single one of these, and I promise you that area under every single kind of divoted heat shield is filled with sensors. The amount of data that's going to come out of this will just be astronomical. So it is all intentional. And they're testing, hopefully, thermal blankets and protective systems and just all kinds of funky things to see if Starship can still make it through. They obviously reckon it will, but we'll find out today.
I mean, speaking of Starship, some very keen-eye viewers might be able to notice the flaps are different on this flight. And we saw this with last flight too. However, we didn't get too far before the unfortunate explosion of Starship 33. And so these flaps, if you remember to previous flights, heat during reentry would burn through the flaps and almost melt the mechanisms inside. Oh, they're look at that beautiful nose cone. Oh,
That's nice,
wonderful.
man.
That's pretty.
Are those cameras up there?
Oh,
on the
I
tower.
believe so. I
Those
believe
look
so.
like dude, I've never seen that before. Those do look like cameras, don't they?
yeah. I think they're full IMAX.
They actually have, yeah, they do have both IMAX and film cameras up there. So they are.
Wow. What are they
I
doing with
believe
IMAX cameras?
I
Huh?
think that's
SpaceX
listen. They're
for-
cooking.
I think
Yeah.
they're recording stuff.
Yeah,
Well, you
listen,
said-
if your entire goal is, to make life multiplanetary, at some point you're going to want to be able to go back and say, this is how we did it. So I have a
Yep.
feeling that they're saving up a lot of footage that we'll be able to see one day, and that is going to be a beautiful day.
You know what's interesting is I have an unseen video of one of the engineers on top of the tower looking at the cameras, and then he pulls his iPhone out and just peeks over the side of the tower and snaps a photo of the nose cone, and it's just the sickest. It's the sickest thing ever.
Dude,
Ended
I
up
need to
finding
be
out
doing
who that guy
stuff now.
was, and I was like, "Yo, can I please get like the photo that you took? I have a video of you taking that photo." And he was like, "Yeah, I can't. Like, obviously can't share that, but it was pretty cool to capture him and then get to kind of talk to him."
I gotta say, I can't wait to see what SpaceX publishes in 10 years' time. Go into that theater to see it, or I just hope Christopher Nolan has something to do with it.
Who do you think would make the soundtrack for this?
Hans
Hans
Zimmer,
Zimmer,
about Mars.
obviously.
Hans
Come
Zimmer,
on.
we think.
That's not even a
My
question.
Easiest
boy.
question.
Not
That's
even
my
a question.
boy. Love him.
Honestly. We've got Leo saying, I've heard whispers of multiple documentaries being filmed. Oh, dude, for sure. I can only
I would
dread
not
what the
be
History
surprised.
Channel is cooking. Oh man, this is gonna look awesome. That shot is brilliant. And yeah, again, the forward flaps were mentioned. You can tell pretty clearly from the other PTZ camera, if we were so kind as to show it, just how far forward those have actually moved in relation to the rear flaps, which are sitting all the way back there. It's pretty difficult to really tell that difference, but they've really been shifted. And again, looking at the whole vehicle, the absolute scale of this thing is just mind-boggling. We're still looking at the booster. We're still looking at the booster. We're still looking at the booster, and now we're getting to the engines. And if you looked at that camera right at the top, one of those cameras, those are big cameras, barely fit in your hand. I mean, it's a giant. Kind of helps you. That makes you think. I don't think.
Emma, that
Sean
is a
will fucking-
nice shot there.
That is pretty, man. Loopy saying we should reuse a Space Camp 1986 soundtrack. I still haven't seen Space Camp, actually.
Oh, that movie brings me back.
You reckon I should see it?
I mean, it's a classic. I can't remember how well it holds up today. Chat will have to remind me. But I remember seeing it as a kid and wanting to go to Space Camp because I saw it. So,
Wow.
and however, and not to spoil the movie, but I went to Space Camp and I did not go on a real life space shuttle flight. So I'm kind of disappointed.
That's so
messed up,
frustrating.
man. That's messed
For
up.
real. For real.
Well, you know what? We're on the topic of... I think this is topical enough. I think I'll allow this discussion. You guys want to tell... In the chat, you guys want to tell us your favourite science fiction movies? You'll get banned if you don't say Interstellar, of course.
The only right choice.
So I
let's
think
be
I'm
honest.
getting banned regardless.
Okay.
I think I'm getting banned
Justify
regardless
that.
here.
Justify that.
Okay, I have never seen all of Interstellar. I have seen bits and pieces of it,
What?
but I've never
You've been
just sat
watching it
down
on
and watched it.
YouTube Shorts or something?
No, I back when I was in high school, had teachers like put it on as like a free day sort of thing. Like on half days when like nothing's really gonna get done anyway, so they just put things on. I've watched like pieces of Interstellar here and there, but I've never sat down and watched the whole thing. I was going to watch it in IMAX when they did the rerun like a couple months ago. And I kind of left that to the last minute and everything was sold out. So
That's painful.
Ooh.
That's so sad.
Heartbreaking. You gotta admit though, Interstellar would go so hard on YouTube Shorts, broken up by Reddit text-to-speech videos.
Please,
that would be
please
just
don't,
peak.
don't do this to my
No,
beloved
no.
film.
Don't speak that evil into the world, okay? Don't do that.
that's Gore, my comfort character.
I've spotted a message here that Joey Leal would just love to say a few words about. Would be great to watch this stream live on a cinema screen with surround sound. Funny you talk about interesting sound mastering, because that's exactly what we're doing, members only, for our online series. So do check out the members page if you are a member. There is some interesting stuff in there. We are looking at 5.1. We're looking at Dolby Atmos. Of course, we're starting to place more and more microphones around the launch site as well. So not only are we going to have really well mastered sound, we're going to have really good sound in general in all of our releases, hopefully.
Mont, I must say you are so good at the transitions, man. You're just
Dude,
so smooth with it.
seriously.
master segue
Yeah, he's the
user,
guy.
maker, whatever.
You're on top of it.
Comes with the trade. With Jacob's asking if is Perigi here for real after the incident, the knee incident. Perigi, are you here? Can you confirm at this time?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. My voice sounds terrible.
Just about.
Anesthetized me, but you know.
I think we'll allow it just this once.
The post anesthesia
But
voices.
if you have another surgery, we're going to have to fire you, I'm afraid.
I know. I'm getting replaced by a robot, guys. It's over.
Yeah, we've actually got Grok to do it for you.
Wow. Well, what can you do? What can you do? You know?
Oh man.
You think you're replaceable.
We've got a mention of The Martian, actually, in the chat. I just picked up a book version of The Martian, which was, of course, the original version, so it'll be good to read that. Kind of compare it to the movie a little bit.
Yeah, the book.
Oh, the book is amazing.
I have to comment on what we've just been gifted, once again, by our benevolent benefactor behind the stream controls, Emlyn, which is a really nice and a long shot of that PTZ. Anyone want to tell us more about these funky buildings? Any building enthusiasts here?
Me. I love it.
Me? You know what, Perigi? I'll allow you to. Just this once, buddy.
Thank you. Wow. I'm not getting replaced by a robot yet. Okay.
You've got 10 minutes.
You can see here. These are some of the 3 bays that SpaceX has. There is the High Bay. There's Mega Bay 1 and Mega Bay 2. Now, these all serve very, very important purposes, and their main purpose is building the actual Starship that you see. I believe Mega Bay 1 is currently used for boosters, and Mega Bay 2 is currently used for ships. And currently, the High Bay is not really in use. Previously, the High Bay was used to stack segments of Starship, the upper stage, and we are very much expecting to see that get destroyed soon because there's no more need for it. Recently, we've started seeing things coming and rolling out of Star Factory, like fully assembled segments. They just don't need to be assembled and welded together in High Bay anymore. And pretty soon, High Bay will serve absolutely zero purpose, and it will soon be demolished. Now,
Knock it down.
yeah. Mega Bay 1 and Mega Bay 2, those are the current generation of SpaceX's big, ship booster creating facilities. Each of them have 6 work stands. That's just places for the vehicles to be worked on. I believe that currently Mega Bay 2 holds Ship 35 and the beginnings of Ship 36. I do not believe it holds any of the segments for Ship 37 yet. And in Boosters Bay, Mega Bay 1, there is, I believe, currently Booster 12. No, not Booster 12. Booster 12 was rolled out to the Rocket Garden, which is another storage area for starships. That's just outside, open air. It used to be used much more frequently, but however, it's mostly for the older, retired vehicles. Now, tower vent. Excellent.
Oh,
Aha, that's a good sign.
yeah, indeed. Speaking of bays, shall we talk about SpaceX's future plans with the Giga Bay, which may not be at Starbase, but it is still significant and a recent update that I think we should touch on a
The
bit.
big cube that, by the will of our streaming god, we could even show on the stream.
Perhaps.
Indeed.
It's possible. It's possible.
But for
God,
those that don't
SpaceX.
know,
Go on.
I'm just gonna, share a bit
Give
about
us your spiel. Give us
the
your spiel.
Giga. I'll give the spiel. I'm literally just reading from
Go
the
on.
SpaceX Bay website. So the Giga Bay in Florida will stand 380 feet tall and provide approximately 46.5 million cubic feet of interior processing space with 815,000 square feet of workspace, including ground level, elevated platform work areas, and a work and meeting space on the top floor, which is similar to the, I believe the high bay has something similar. Someone may fact check me on that. But Gigabay will be able to support Starship and super heavy vehicles up to 81 meters, which for us Americans is 266 feet tall, and will provide 24, or a lot of bananas for scale, and will provide 24 work cells for integration and refurbishment work, along with cranes capable of lifting up to 400 U.S. tons. I'm sorry, somebody that's not in the U.S., do you guys have a different measurement for tons?
I forgot that there was a difference between the measurements.
I'm very confused.
Let me look that up, actually. That's funny.
Yeah, what's a U.S. ton not in the U.S.?
A U.S. ton is 2,200 pounds.
So 1 US ton is about 0.907 metric tons. Of course it's an uncomfortable
That's
number.
so ridiculous.
Oh, that's awful.
Why wouldn't it be?
Oh, look at these vents right now going on the stream. Just to wrap this up about the Gigabay, compared to the Megabay facilities in Starbase, currently SpaceX's largest stacking and integration buildings, Gigabay provides more than 11 times the square footage for workspace, 19 additional work cells, and more than twice the crane lifting capacity. Very excited to see that when it is completed, which I believe they said is set for 2026, correct?
I think it was.
I think so. I think it was early 2026.
Don't quote me. Crikey. Well, I will say now we're at T-minus 1 hour and 17 minutes 30 seconds. We're starting to get really close to that go no go poll, which will be conducted by the flight director. If all goes well there, they will be go for propellant load, and they'll start loading propellant into this vehicle. That will take place, I think, around the T-minus 45 minutes mark. Then we'll start to see some activity in that front. We're already starting to see the GSE preparing. We've got some nice venting. We've got the lines being purged and prepared for that flow of propellant. And would you look at that against the beautiful background? That is nice.
So gorgeous.
And when you look at that, we've just given away 5 more memberships. So if you've got one, enjoy it, stick around, make use of it. We do have some cool stuff there. We'll have some especially cool stuff right after this launch. We'll try and push it out as quickly as we can.
Yes. Stay tuned, because we're not just done after the stream. We don't just stream. We have a lot of good quality stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who don't really show up in these streams, but do quite a bit of work behind the scenes. So
very true, very true. The whole team is excellent. And
yeah,
awesome.
I will say, the moment we get the footage back from these cameras, most notably the Black Magic, which we're particularly proud of, I think I'm going to be stuck in my editing software for a few hours at a time.
Oh my goodness, I forgot to talk about the Black Magic.
You did. You can do that.
I'm insulted at myself. So yes, in addition to the Canons we have out there, the PTZs, the GoPros, and the Ace Pros, and our ballistic dinosaur, we also have a Black Magic camera, which I believe we're shooting 8K 120 frames per second, which is remotely triggered by our team member Emlyn, which is just the amount of work that this man does. Can we get some W's in the chat for all of Emlyn's hard work?
Dude, the amount of like Black Magic,
it's
like, not the
crazy.
camera company Black Magic, I'm talking kind of like occult rituals kind of stuff he does with servers and cameras. I don't know, I don't mess with it, man.
It's very, very impressive is what I'm trying to say. But
cool.
I think we ended up, last launch attempt, I think recorded for 18 minutes, and it was, like 500, what was it? What was the spacing on that? Can you put in the back channels so I can tell people with accuracy how many gigs and or terabytes? 1 terabyte for 30 minutes or so was how much space that takes up on a Black Magic. And the thing with the Black Magics is, if you're not a camera nerd like I am, if you don't have the proper hard drive attachment, or if you don't have the proper cabling, the crazy thing is that camera will start to drop frames in the video, so you'll start losing actual frames because cameras record in frames per second. So instead of 120 frames per second, you might get 110, and that comes with so many issues on the post-production side. So we have sorted out so many of those issues since last launch, when that camera actually unfortunately failed. So we've done a lot of iterations of testing for these cameras to get you guys the greatest footage that we possibly can. So we are very, very excited for all that. And again, the more you guys support us and what we're doing, the more we will be able to bring you these crazy views and just get some more cool gear that we can then do more tests on and try to figure out how to make more things come in. So thank you guys so much for that. Please subscribe and join if you want to be a member, and smash that like button.
Oh god. Hey Kay, speaking of transitions, you want to see one?
Yeah.
You want to see a transition?
Always, please.
Speaking of supports, we've just gotten gifted 10 memberships to the viewers of the chat from Array. Thank you very much for that, Array. Do enjoy your memberships, people. Make good use of them.
Yeah.
And Array themselves has joined as a member. Thank you very much.
Also, I've been corrected. Our black magic is actually a 12K black magic, but we are shooting in 8K so that we don't drop those frames, just so everybody's updated on
Did
that.
you have something to say, my friend?
No, I did not. Don't worry about it. Sorry,
Ah.
my voice is dead. Good God, I need
Just
to get some more
just
water.
the incoherent ramblings of a man driven to insanity. That's okay. That's okay.
By the knee surgery.
By the knee surgery.
Knee sanity. Knee sanity.
Knee sanity. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I will say again, for those who aren't really camera enthusiasts, even if you've got a 12K camera, shooting in 8K still generally gives you a slightly better look, slightly better quality than an 8K camera shooting at 8K, just because you've got so many more pixels that you can record with. You're downsampling or using more surface area. We generally get a good increase in detail. So
Right.
even if you take one of those like 12K cameras, even if you're only shooting at 4K, even if you're only viewing it at 720p, that's still going to look really nice and fine-grained and super tidy compared to maybe a 720p camera shooting itself, where it might look a bit softer. So all of these kind of big numbers do actually mean things. We're not just saying them just kind of meaninglessly. It does definitely mean something, especially higher frame rates, right? If you're shooting at 120 FPS, most movies you watch are only at 24 FPS, but that means we can slow down footage. We can get slow motion of on the order of 4 times, which is crazy stuff. And that's without a slow motion camera. That's just a regular camera doing its regular stuff. So these numbers do mean things, but you can only get them with premium cameras, which of course need some support. So we do appreciate it. I think we've got War Thunder chatter going on in the chat. Oh god. Someone's just mentioned Silver Lions. This is awful.
And immediately, do not let that
Keep this out of my chat, Mitch Code. I don't want to think about that game.
Mods, can we ban that user?
Can we mods? Can we crush them with hammers, please? Got Godspeed for 15 and 34. Hey Josh, you want to remind us what those numbers mean? 15, 34, those special
15
numbers.
and 34. Good lord. Well, 15, that's got to be our booster, and 34, that's got to be our ship today.
It's possible. Yeah,
It's possible.
So again, if you're just joining us now, welcome to the stream. It's very good to have you here with us. We've got 106 others who are sitting along with you. The previous flight, not the previous attempt, the previous flight, ended rather prematurely after some harmonic resonance caused some pipes to presumably start leaking, some equipment to fail, and for the pressure to rise too much and for it to kind of go up in flames. So unfortunately, that flight didn't go so well, but SpaceX has learned from it and they've instituted some changes for this flight. So we'll see if those changes work. Now we're going to start keeping an eye on SpaceX's social media just to see if they do indeed go for propellant mode. It's now T-minus 1 hour and 10 minutes. Still got some time to go, but we are getting closer to that wonderful ignition of 33 Raptor engines to take this beast into the sky. On your screen, you can see that lovely venting coming out of the orbital launch mount and the tower. Of course, that's all to get the systems ready for propellant transfer, to get the ship ready for launch.
You know, not to beat a dead horse here, but I gotta say, the tower vent is gotta be the prettiest thing I have seen in a long time. Maybe ever. Maybe in my whole life. It is just so pretty.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's the
I think
cloud
every
generator.
Starship, indeed, that's amazing. I think every Starship that I've seen in person has definitely made me at least tear up. Some of them I've been so exhausted that I just collapsed to the ground, like Flight 7. Just fully collapsed on the ground in Mexico and just was so like relieved that booster catch happened. And then shortly after, we heard on the SpaceX stream, we have lost ship, and then we were all very concerned.
That's pretty awful. Man, those booster catches are insane to think about. If you're,
Oof.
if you haven't done much engineering work, you kind of think about where to even start when you've got to get this. Like, how tall is it? On the order of 80 meters, is it? The booster?
Close.
Yeah, around that region, you've got this massive, tall, like tower of stainless steel that you've got to not even land, but catch out of the sky with like these massive arms. I mean, the precision you need for that is just wild. We're talking precision on the orders of meters. In fact,
I mean,
below
you're
that.
you're sending a skyscraper into space and back. You know, it's
Yeah,
it's hard to fathom when you're actually seeing it with your own, even with your own eyes. Like I've been there, I've seen this, and it's just hard to comprehend that they're actually catching a skyscraper basically with these chopsticks. It's just mind blowing and just so, I don't know, it's like watching magic in real life, but it's real and it's made by engineers with their hands. Like it's very, very cool. Very cool.
it is pretty awesome. And actually, speaking of chopsticks, I do think it's wise that SpaceX started moving away from landing legs because recently they had a landing leg related issue. Has anyone heard about that? Falcon 9 incident.
Yeah, I think it just kind of toppled over, huh?
Yeah, they had I think it was a small fire around where the legs were that caused it to fail, and so it just kind of toppled over. I mean,
Very.
I hate to paraphrase, but sometimes the best part is no part. We've got more War Thunder chat going on. Okay, the last 6 messages have been War Thunder related. Guys, why? Can we talk about rockets again? I don't want to think about my childhood. Yeah, B1086, that's apparently the booster code that failed. It's a real shame. Look at that venting. Glorious. So what, we're having much better weather than we had on the first attempt, aren't we?
Oh, the weather last attempt was just so dreary and so awful.
It was atrocious. I remember one of the members of our chat was watching Goes East, which is a geostationary weather satellite, and just praying that it would improve. And it has improved, thankfully.
Indeed, we have gotten confirmation from Brandon, who is just off-site of Starbase, that he can see the tower, which is fantastic. And that also means poor man is likely getting very sunburned.
Oh yeah, it gets hot out there.
It's
kinda makes
yeah,
the,
I've left several flights and my face has been peeling from the sun. So
Yeah, that
even with
makes the
sunscreen, man,
challenge-
you can't. There's no shade out there. There's no bathrooms out there. You're in the elements.
God, that's a nightmare for me. I couldn't. I think that makes this kind of propellant transfer even more impressive because you think about the absolute sub-zero cryogenic temperatures that you're getting with the propellant, how cold you've got to keep it to compress as much of it into those fuel tanks as you can to make sure it's optimal for combustion, optimal for engine cooling. And you've got to do that in this kind of sweltering weather and insulate it from the elements. It is pretty wild stuff. Again, do keep an eye on our social media. We are posting some pretty interesting things, even in real time, along with this stream. We're grabbing some lovely stills from our cameras, which you'll definitely want to have a look at.
Logan in the chat is asking, which is worse, sunburnt or the bug bites? Well, we try to wear, long pants most of the time when we're out there to mitigate some of the bug issues, but they're not really that bad. The worst part really is the sand. It's very humid out at Starbase, and so you just leave with like a layer of sand on your skin. It's unavoidable, unfortunately. And not only that, but we have shoes that we kind of leave in the storage unit down in Brownsville, because they're just full of sand, and you can't escape sand. Once it's in your shoes, it's over.
Well, hopefully
So
we'll
we have
see some of that
designated-
sand flying today, because we've just had go for prop load from SpaceX.
Let's go. W's in the chat for
Level.
prop load.
Amazing.
Looks like I joined at a good time.
Dude, if this doesn't fly today, I'm crashing out. It's over. Let me just be
Yeah.
completely clear about this.
I mean, I think Joey said it's over actually, like
For
the
IGW
company.
in
So
general. Yeah,
Yeah,
just done.
exactly.
Company files a bankruptcy.
He
Voluntary.
said it's if this doesn't go, it's actually Jover.
Oh,
Joey over.
Look,
If any
Jover.
of you, if any of the chat is in the SpaceX Mission Control HQ right now, please ask them to do their best, because I really like color grading.
exactly. Please just send them Joey Leel's face looking sad and say, "Do it for him."
Do it for him, dude. We got to get Joey
Do
Leal
you want
pinups.
to make him sad? No. Then go.
Oh lord, who uploading they propel? Okay, okay.
me.
The chat has brief moments of lucidity until it devolves again into like, it's awful. It's awful.
No, no.
Crayons,
Dad,
crayons, you're here
no.
with us. You can't do that. That's not fair.
You're not allowed to do that.
I
Chad.
can't
You're
help
allowed
it.
to do
There's a snail in my ear that says keep saying things in the chat, and I have to listen.
God, man, what's happening to Interstellar Gateway?
Terrible. It's terrible.
Awful. But you know what's not awful? This view from this PTT right now.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, this is phenomenal. This is such a good view.
Dude, the sun's out. I mean, this is going to make for an absolutely terrific shot from the SpaceX drones. I can't wait to see what they get.
Emlyn, do we have a photo of one of the SpaceX drones? I know that one recently got posted on somewhere, and I think we showed it recently. I'm not sure. But the drones that they're flying out there are pretty sick. They're definitely souped up. I mean, you've got to be to handle the winds out there and to be able to mitigate the, just sheer vibrations from this rocket taking off, man.
Oh yeah,
They're very cool.
Cameras are heavy, and
Great.
even more interesting, you think about how many kind of safety features they've had to pack into that drone to make sure it doesn't fly towards Starship. In the event of radio loss. I mean, that thing's going to be engineered to hell and back. Drones get big really fast when you start using them for industrial and commercial purposes. We're not talking about like little DJI Mavics here. We're talking about drones that weigh 20 odd kilograms or more. These are beasts, you know.
Not the sort of thing you want flying at you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't be ideal. In my university, I'm part of a group which specializes in building large drones on the order of 15, 20 kilos. And if we want to test them indoors, we have to book out an entire sports hall and stand a good 20, 25 meters minimum from it. Because we're terrified of the things. You think about how many rotors and blades they've got spinning at very, very high RPMs, big ones as well. I don't want to be anywhere near it. Okay, this chat is cooked, man.
Filthy.
I
Filthy.
can tell- I can tell
watch
that-
your
that-
mouths, you.
I can tell the dead space in commentary here is everybody staring in horror at the chat.
I would like to formally apologize for opening my mouth.
Yeah, it's awful, Crayons. Look at what you've done. I've got someone asking who is the British guy narrating here with the smooth, sultry voice. Maybe Adrian didn't say that part.
I feel like that's not.
I don't know. Maybe they thought it in their head. No, that's me. Quantify VTOL. I appeared out of nowhere with a steel chair and forced my way into Interstellar Gateway headquarters. So I'm doing some kind of commentation, mainly behind the scenes. I'm working on helping out with video and styling and color grading and all of that beautiful stuff.
He was here. He started yelling about color grading one time, and
they
I
just kind
guess
of
he's just
accepted
here
it.
now.
They're just kind
He's just here.
I think they're keeping me around as a pet of sorts. But it's okay because I managed to get my way. Now we have shots like this. Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
That's tidy. That's tidy, that is. Well, we've now got T-minus 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second. Look at that. Round number. Well, a little bit ago, actually. But
That is the opposite of a round number, but it is a pattern.
Oh, come on. It's round in my eyes. We just crossed T-minus 1 hour and counting. I may have been looking at the preview and getting a bit disoriented here. This time passes all, rather fast. Christ. Well, now that we're below 1 hour, shall we review the timeline?
Let's do it.
So we've gone past 1 hour, 15 minutes. We've had the go for propellant load, so now propellant's going to start getting pumped into the vehicle. The order they do this in is at T-minus 46 minutes, they're going to have the Starship loading liquid oxygen. Of course, that's the big thing, the big black thing at the top of the stack. Then we're going to start loading in liquid fuel, which is liquid methane, at T minus 43 minutes. T minus 41 minutes, 22 seconds, we're going to start seeing the booster loading its liquid methane, and then at T minus 35 minutes and 35 seconds, the booster's going to start loading its liquid oxygen. Those are going to get filled up and topped up properly, and then at T minus 20 minutes, around that, you're going to start to see the Raptor perform its chill, so it's going to start cooling itself down, ready for its operating temperatures, because, contrary to belief, these are rocket engines, but they do get really, really cold of how much coolant's flowing through them, and they have to. Otherwise, those things will just melt to pieces. And then everything starts to happen really fast, around T minus 3 minutes. Your propellant load on the ship's going to start getting completed. Your booster loading is going to start getting completed. T minus 30 seconds, you'll have your final go for launch. And then from there on, 10 seconds, the flame deflector activates. That's that lovely jet of water from below the orbital launch mount. T minus 3 seconds, the Raptor ignites. And at T minus 0, we pray it doesn't explode. And hopefully it climbs into the sky. So that's going to be...
I think it's worth...
Go on.
Sorry, I think it's worth mentioning also at T minus 40 seconds, it's not listed on that list of timeline items there, but T minus 40 seconds is really their final hold point, which is to say that at T minus 40 seconds, they can hold for a number of minutes, try to fix any last minute issues, and that's where they got stuck up on last attempt. So T minus 40 seconds is really the are we going or are we not point. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
I definitely do feel like this launch somehow has felt significantly faster. It's obviously been the same amount of stream time we've been on, but for some reason, does this one feel faster to anybody else on the moderator team or on the stream chat?
I think it's because we've been sitting waiting for it to go for so long.
You're probably right.
Hours feel like minutes. The minutes feel like seconds, man.
Yes.
This is nothing compared to my before stages of tank watching. Do we have any tank watchers in the chat today? Do we have any tank watchers in the commentary booth, actually?
Ooh, right here. Right
Josh, you're
I'm a
tank
former
watcher?
tank watcher.
Tell us more about
I was
your
a
horrible
former tank
mental
watcher.
illness.
Good
What made
lord.
you do this? What were you doing with your time? Tell the chat.
Seeing okay, some of you might be too young to remember this, but way back in the day, there was something called Mark 1, and it was this ugly Starship prototype that they had over at the production facility. And back when that happened, back when they made that, I started following because I was hooked. I was hooked even before, any flight or anything. Just seeing some weird production model of a Starship, I was hooked, and that evolved into a mental illness that turned into being here today.
Affliction.
A horrible illness.
To be fair, I was never a massive tank watcher, but I was a bit of a tank watcher. Right, I was an honorary tank watcher. By the way, can I just say quickly, look at this view. Look at that tasteful glint. Oh,
so beautiful.
That is pleasant. It didn't look that good before. Before we were looking at grain silos that were kind of crappily welded together with Raptor engines beneath them, going up and then coming down. That was the most exciting thing that happened for months. And aside from that, we'd get excited whenever we saw frost build on the outside of a tank, because we think, oh my god, they're filling it with fuel, they're going to test something. And then they'd do that test, and then they'd empty it from fuel. We'd get disappointed, we'd keep watching it, we'd go on with our days. I know people who watch those streams all day long. They would have it on their browser in a little window above everything they were doing. I never understood it, but I respected them.
That was me, and you know what? I can't explain that behavior. I can't excuse it either. I think that was weird. It was weird.
Cool. I think it's just because we've never seen rocket technology that was just stainless steel welded bits. It is wacky.
Also, just being built right out in the open too. Like, it's not being done behind a tent or anything. It's quite literally in the middle of a field in Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say having the access to see it was probably very exciting for people, and we touched on that a bit ago about how kind of accessible this site is to the public. And again, if you do go out to Starbase, please be mindful of not only the property lines of SpaceX, but also the fish and wildlife areas, the wildlife refuge that's out there, notably the mudflats. Definitely stay off the mudflats. Any other areas, do your very best, please. Stay out of those areas because they are protected land, and there are a lot of animals and things that reside in those areas that we're doing our best to keep protected. So be mindful of that if you do go down to Starbase.
Yeah,
These
it's a
rockets-
wildlife refuge. It's very preserved land, but not to mention it's also there's plenty of private property there too. You don't want to accidentally trespass on some SpaceX property and wind
Yeah,
up with a
definitely.
fine or worse in prison.
And also, it is Texas, so definitely do not want to trespass.
Do not fuck around,
Yeah.
for you may in fact find out.
Exactly.
Now I gotta
It's
say,
not an FAFO situation in Texas. Don't do that.
I gotta say, a poll, or not a poll, sorry, a goal, rhyming word, has just appeared from the heavens above. And I've heard, sources tell me, that if we get 20 super chats by 23 minutes, we will have hit it. What happens at that goal, we haven't yet decided, but it'll be something interesting. And of course, Blue has opened us up with $7 worth of donations. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Hopefully we can get some
Also,
more going.
something we may do, which I will need to clear with Joey before we can confirm this, but we have
no.
been giving away. Listen, we have been giving away several of our cooked cameras from previous flights. So, if it's of any interest to people, keep an eye on our X account because it is something that we like to do. We like to give away some of those cameras that did not really survive, but we did recover the footage from. So, if that is of interest, definitely give us a follow on our X account and. Subscribe, do the things.
Do the things, man. Do the things. That's how we keep bringing you these views. And the sky is looking nice. We're at T-minus 52 minutes now, with 40 seconds to go. And we're getting closer. Much closer. In about
I have
minutes,
also
we'll start
gotten
loading.
confirmation. I have gotten confirmation from Joey that we will have at least one flight cam that we will likely give away. So keep an eye on the X account, like I said.
Here's the real question. What happens if none of the cameras get cooked?
I will find a way to cook one.
Okay.
Low heat over the fire. Cage
Or I can-
seasoning.
Or I can send one of the previous flight cams that I have. I have a couple of them myself. Either way, we'll get one to somebody. So
Who is this Joshua King guy who just donated?
Who is
in the
that?
chat?
He's so handsome. Oh my god.
Okay.
So attractive.
Mhm.
Oh, I bet he has
Gloopy
a really,
says-
really good voice.
Gloopy says they don't have a Twitter account. Well, we also have Instagram and Facebook page, correct, guys?
There's no excuse.
Keep an eye everywhere. And also make an X account.
Yeah, exactly.
And a super chat just came in from Kyle up in Canada. Hope you reach your goal. This is awesome. And a message directed at myself. Get chasing satellites to do a video with the rocket launch in the background. So, Kyle, fun fact, I have been able to film a few things out at the pad with the rocket behind me, but it's very hard to perform like I'm in a music video with a rocket launch in the background when I'm trying to film said rocket launch. So I can't really, I'm not there to do music things. I'm there to, film a historic event. So it's definitely difficult, but there has been some cool stuff filmed out at SpaceX. So, and people do all kinds of stuff out there. There are a lot of creators that are going out there and doing some cool stuff like painting and different types of things out there. So it's really cool to go out there and kind of get to know the community a bit more on the ground.
Just before I mention the latest super chat we have from another commentator, for Christ's sake, man. Crayons. I will say, we've now gone up to 157 people watching this stream. Hello, everyone, wherever you're watching from. Thank you very much for joining us. We're Interstellar Gateway. We're a relatively small company with an awful lot of cameras, with the ambition to bring you some of the best views that we possibly can of Starship, and hopefully tell the story as cinematically as we can. So we choose all of our shots to really be compelling, rather than necessarily 100% technical. So thank you for being here. Do stick around, it'll be interesting. Tell us where you're from. Mention it in the chat. The Crayons with $5. I love Interstellar Gateway. Who is Crayons?
Forgot that it's more of a lure.
Lover. Yeah, it's okay. I'll forgive it this one time.
That's a simple typo.
Shoot. For everyone
That is a
watching-
very much a purposeful typo.
Huh.
For everyone
Heard you.
watching who's interested in the Perry-Knee saga, you hit 150 viewers live. Congrats, my name has to be Perry-Knee Aerosurgery on Twitter.com for a week now.
Let's go.
For
Amazing.
$200 a grand donated to this stream total, I'll change my profile picture to Dr. House.
Chat.
This
It
vexes
must
me.
be done.
This is incredible.
Yes.
Thank you guys for the support. Also, not only are we bringing you these amazing live cams, as Quant was saying, but we or Perigi, I can't remember who was talking. My brain is scrambled eggs right now because of this
Don't
launch.
mix
But
me up with the American.
I'm sorry.
It's not
I'm
fair.
sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. We're out here doing our best, but we also are filming an ongoing documentary style series about how we are able to get these views to you guys. So we film behind the scenes at every launch of setting up cameras, all the behind the scenes of even figuring out where to place these cameras, things like that. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel and the members only section, where we are also doing a lot of really cool audio engineering behind the scenes as well. So if you guys want to get involved with what we're doing and continue to support us so that we can keep doing this stuff, there are several ways to do so. And I'm just going through the chat quickly, see if there's anything.
I do have to say, there's one message that caught my eye.
There we go.
Hypnotic's asking, who is this Chad voice guy? Which
Not sure
one?
who they're
Yeah,
referencing,
which
but
one?
Probably the
I
probably the
also-
Coloradan, right?
No,
Yeah,
it's got to be the Brit man. The smooth
Absolutely.
Amazon Prime audiobook voice.
No,
What
they
can I
just
say?
love my
Right.
post-surgery cracking riddled voice.
that's got to be it. Totalitus Watts says, I really want to try wet plate photography out at Starbase. So, little fun fact, I shot my first roll of film on a film camera out at Starbase. And it was really cool to kind of experiment with that, fail once, and then try again. I literally learned how to load my camera the night that I arrived in Brownsville by watching a YouTube tutorial. I picked up this film camera when I was traveling overseas, and I was like, I want to learn, and practice film photography, and thought, what better place to start than at Starbase in the most harsh environment. Really happy with those photos, actually. Some of which you can see probably on our Instagram or my personal Instagram, but I also have a photo print of Booster post-catch behind me on my wall in my house, and it's really cool to see that. And I feel like a lot of photographers forget the importance of printing their photography. And speaking of photo prints, we are working on bringing those to you to purchase and support us further, and that will eventually be up on our website when that is finished being built, interstellargateway.com, which you can actually go to now and sign up for our mailing list to get updates. So thank you guys for the support.
Amazing. While you're on your lovely little spiel, we've unfortunately had even more super chats. Ere has given us $5 Australian, I believe. Interstellar Gateway, fire emoji, alien emoji. Thank you very much for that, Ere. Greatly appreciate your support.
Thank you, Haley.
Which code?
God damn it.
This is more familiar. This is more like it. 5 Great British Pound Sterling. Strong currency. Of Dr. House Knee Fund. That's for you, I think, Perigi. We'll get those funds to you, my friend. And JJ Jingles. I think that's Mav's roommate.
Mm-hmm.
It says Mav says hi. We're free. I think that's Mav's roommate.
Font, can
Hi,
you
Mav.
Go on.
kind of convert the weight of Starship and Booster into stone for me?
What?
Stone.
I can,
you
as a
guys
matter of fact.
What do you?
How
And
would he
stone?
know?
No, this is a good question. This is a good
The
question.
density of stone?
Wait, isn't... Hang on,
No.
isn't stone
Don't you guys
like
weigh people in stone?
Oh, I
I
forgot
crazy?
about
it is
that.
it is
Um,
826,733.5 stone.
That is a lot
Wow.
of stone. No, I completely forgot about that because stone's kind of vanishing as a unit of measurement in the UK.
Really
It was very
interesting.
much a previous generation thing for those who are 60 or older,
Ah.
but now it's kind of slipping away. It's still confusing because I'll see adverts about weight loss medications that says, I lost 4 stone in a week. I'm like, what is that?
Who
Yeah,
else
that sounds
came up
painful,
with
man.
Stone. I've never seen the word stone outside of weight loss adverts. It
And
is
also,
so
who
good.
came up with like what a stone weighs? You know what I mean? Like, I need to look up the origin of stone on
I
a.
reckon
I
someone
don't know.
picked up a rock.
We were like,
It's
this
apparently
seems
about
like
6.35 kilograms. So.
what? That's so random.
Alrighty then.
So just a
To know-
quick timeline update. We've been given a tasteful little zoom by our very own Emlyn here into the quick disconnect on the Starship, because we're now at T-minus 44 minutes and 33 seconds, and we're starting to get to that ship lock slowed. We're going to start loading, not launching, not quite yet, liquid oxygen. onto the ship. After that, they're going to begin launching, not launching, that comes later, silly, loading liquid methane as well. So we're going to have those lovely two propellants up on the ship. You can probably start to see some venting coming from around there, and those pipes are going to start flowing fluids. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, we're going to start getting chilly, super chilly soon. Very
Super
excited.
chilly. Does anyone have a number for how chilly?
I don't.
I
Very.
wish I did.
In the chat, Mitch Code says, "How do Americans not know peak imperial units?" I can answer that. We went to public school.
That's real. Actually, that's real.
I mean,
Oh, look at that.
You gotta be thankful for it. You gotta be thankful. If you didn't public school, how else would you know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell?
you have a good point.
Sure.
And how to measure a parabola? Like, I've never in my life needed to know that
don't know how to
information.
do that. I'm gonna be real.
I mean, I don't either, but I know what the word is. I know what a parabola is.
Exactly.
That's
Do
all that
you know
matters.
the quadratic equation? I do.
No, no.
Negative
Maybe
b
I'll
plus
just-
minus a square root of b squared subtract 4ac over 2a. I know
Okay.
it. I know
You
it.
like-
I'm so
No,
clever.
somebody knows the quadratic formula.
What
As-
does
so
that
clever.
even do?
But how
Exactly.
many decimal points of pi do you know?
3.141592653, and then that's it. I don't know anymore. I don't need
Wow.
any more.
3.
I hit a
I
button
know the
on my
first one. It's a
calculator.
3, right?
That is
Yeah.
correct. That's good
Well,
enough if you're a
just
civil
to
engineer.
say, folks, we are getting a gentle nudge from the behind-the-scenes Brit to focus on the rocket.
You know, I think that might be wise. We have a rocket before us. And it's a very good-looking rocket as well. We're now blowing through T-minus 42 minutes and 30 seconds. So we will now start to get that liquid methane loading as well. And those quick disconnect lines are going to get very, very cold very fast. You'll see some frost developing around them.
Yeah, you can see it right now, actually. It's getting nice
can.
and chilly. It's getting nice
Tidy
and chilly.
view.
You can, I don't know if we can zoom in anymore, but you can see those lines with a little bit of, come on. Sorry, brain dead. You can see lines with a little bit of frost on them, a little bit of frost coming off them, actually, just going into the wind. But yeah, no, those are there. They're getting real nice.
And indeed,
And we
SpaceX
just
have
got-
just posted propellant load of Starship's upper stage and super heavy booster is underway.
Good news, good news. We like green.
We're now crossing
Super
through
exciting.
T-minus 41 minutes and 40 seconds. Booster fuel load will now be underway, where they're pumping in liquid methane, so it does indeed line up.
And we should have a SpaceX stream coming online here shortly as well, which is also very exciting. 30
Don't
minutes
go
before
anywhere.
liftoff is when they're scheduled to start their live stream, which we will be merging into ours. And we will be
Don't go anywhere.
probably
You're going to get the
talking
best of
over-
both worlds.
Indeed, indeed. And you can try to figure out which camera is which.
Fun game. It's pretty hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll be providing some more of our chit-chat if the rocket launches, which I'm really hoping it does. Once we get into
Yeah.
the coast phase, it'll be quite a long period of quiet, so we'll be providing some insights and talking about what we've seen. Hopefully, it will have all gone well by then, but don't go anywhere. Do stick around. We'll have your stream for you right here, glorious 4K. You start to see some really nice activity now, some lovely venting and puffing from all of those valves and lines.
Oh, there you go. Ooh. You can see some
Ooh.
puffing of some gas coming out.
You can. Oh, look at that. Starship's live. Some venting out of Starship now.
Oh,
Good
that
time.
is an incredible shot, man. Emlyn
Fortnite
killing it on
19 in the chat says, curse my American gov professor for scheduling a midterm in the middle of a Starship launch. The amount of people I've talked to who have exams during this launch, and the previous attempts as well, it's awful.
Man, talk about bad things to have during your launch. I had surgery, man.
Knee surgery.
Exactly. Boo, come on, SpaceX. Pick
That's
better
okay.
dates.
We're happy to have you here, man.
I'm
Thank
pretty lucky to have been blessed to be British, and all of this happens at midnight normally for me, which is pretty convenient to be fair.
YouTube chat. Can we reach 200 viewers, please? Can you guys share this out for us? That would
We are
be
doing
wildly
well, aren't we?
We're doing very
Yeah.
well. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
joining and for spreading the word about it. We are very, very excited to be here and sharing this historic, well, what will hopefully be a historic launch with you guys.
I mean, if it
Yeah.
fails, that'll be historic too. Just in a
Well,
awful way.
also,
I will
we'll
say,
just have a repeat of the
It's going to
scrub.
be historic one way or another.
a little bit
If
of
it doesn't
gossip.
launch and the launch ain't historic, the crash out will be.
Honestly, well, I do have to say, we had a little bit of gossip last stream about how Flight 7 put SpaceX in a bit of a perilous position because it's another delay on top of the list of delays, and it looked pretty awful in terms of PR. It looked pretty to us space nerds, but a lot of people saw an awful lot of debris raining down above them. So if there's a significant issue this flight, I think that would be grounds to start getting worried. Let's hope there isn't. I'm just saying the chat's not as arranged as NASA space flights. Well, they do great stuff.
Exactly.
We have a different audience. I suppose it's not a bad thing. So we have a different audience.
We have 8 minutes left, by the way, in the 20 super chat goal. So if you guys would love to contribute, teal super chats, if you guys would love to contribute, we would appreciate it. Because something fun and mysterious will happen.
Well,
Also,
wait,
just a update on our poll about how many light bulbs are in the Mega Bay. A resounding more than 10,000.
that
Has
solves it
49.
conclusively then. I'm writing the paper tonight.
Gotta be.
There you go. We're done. Happy. We're now at T-minus 38 minutes, just crossing that boundary now. Things are going to start to happen a little bit more quickly now. We've got the booster LOX load that's underway. That's going to start getting filled up, and we'll start to actually be able to see, if we zoom in tastefully, look at that frost developing. Very, very, very slowly.
Very chilly.
Obviously, this is a liquid. As the tanks get filled up, you can see that frost line creep up and up the ship, and eventually the whole ship's going to be engulfed in this beautiful dance of frost. That's why we've got these lovely, really good zoom cameras, so we can kind of bring that to you. Because that frost development is seriously something cool.
We got 20 Canadian dollars. Is that Canadian dollars? Canadian
It will be
dollars
Canadian
from
dollars.
Kyle Lee Foon. Can't wait for blast off. Let's go. I'm with you, brother. I feel that.
I've been waiting too long, man.
Oh,
There'll
tell
be
me
a
about
crash
it.
out of colossal proportions should this go wrong. And Joey Leal has just given himself a little bit less than $2 when accounting for YouTube's cut. And it says, I'm 32,000 feet in the air. Hello, Joey. Hi.
Hello,
How are you
Joey.
doing up there?
All right, boss man. We love you. We love you, Joey. It's
Logan
gonna
says,
be...
lick the frost booster. Please. Okay, this is an official
wait.
Interstellar Gateway communication. Please do
I
not
wonder-
lick the booster.
Do you not? But I wonder if your tongue would get stuck to it. Like a
I reckon,
cold
you know, I
toe.
reckon it would. I reckon it would.
Probably.
Yeah, no.
And I think you'd be in a very perilous position then. You'd have about
Yeah, that's-
36 minutes.
Like,
Oh,
that
man.
propellant's less than freezing. That propellant's like at
Yeah.
negative 300 degrees Celsius or whatever. That stuff is...
It is
Um,
very cold.
Isn't that below
It is-
0 Kelvin?
Sorry, negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
I
Sorry.
hope it's not that cold.
No.
It is a
Yeah.
frosty. It is a
Oh,
frosty
oh.
negative 196 Celsius, which I can assure you, I can actually speak from experience on this. You do not want to lick something that is negative 200 C. You will
Sorry,
regret it.
have you done this, Crayons?
Not on purpose.
Of
I need to know
course.
for science.
They don't call her I eat crayons for no reason. All right, that's all I'll say on that one.
Look
We
at that
ball.
frost creeping
We
up the
ball.
booster.
We have fun.
We do ball and we do have fun. Very true.
Okay, but with all this propellant, that's gotta feel good as hell if you're a Starship, right?
My God. I don't know, man. Well, I wonder if it's like needing to pee.
Oh my
Maybe-
god, you
oh,
guys, yeah.
maybe.
Boo!
Maybe it. Hey, look, I'm just saying the truth here, man.
Space
No, no, no.
Vulture says
Downvote.
every Starship launch feels like Christmas for some reason. I agree. Except we're getting like, what did we get? 5 Christmases last year.
Yeah, no. It looks like we're gonna get way more this year.
Oh
It's
yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
awesome.
Elon's wanting to do 25. That's ambitious, but he's an ambitious guy, as we all know.
Man, let's focus on getting this one up first before
I
we start.
agree, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, man.
we're looking good though. We're T-minus 35, just about. Very, very, very close now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had
boy.
to drop out there for a second again, and I come back to a very active booster. That is quite a beautiful sight.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
It
is.
is.
Well, if anyone wants to know why we're joking a bit more about this flight being a little bit cursed, why
Just
don't
a
we,
little.
does anyone want to go over again for the new people in chat for the things? Oh, SpaceX is live.
Ah, we'll bring that up for you
Alright.
right away. Perigi, what were you saying, my friend?
I was saying, that we might want to go over some of the terrible things that happened. Uh,
Oh, we shall. We
yes,
shall.
for the new people in chat.
Just before that, don't go anywhere. SpaceX is live, but we're going to put the stream up for you right here so you can continue enjoying it alongside our cameras. Trust me, it's worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll probably go a little quiet, a little less commentary, just popping in here and there once SpaceX does have commentator going. But
Yep. At the moment,
Um,
they're just playing their usual kind of intro with no information. The moment that they start conveying some information, we're going to bring that up for you right away so you can start to watch
Yeah.
along with us.
I did want to mention really quick, it looks like we have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in our goal. And if you want to contribute to that goal, in meeting that goal, don't be bashful and send over a teal super chat? Is that right?
Correct.
I
think
thought you were trying to make it rhyme there for a
$5.
sec.
I could have.
Don't be bashful and help us be financial.
Cashful.
Cashful.
Send a cashful of money to help
God,
us,
this is
honey.
awful.
Oh
Pretty good.
man.
Okay, does anyone want to have a go at reading out that $5 super
No.
chat?
Mm-mm.
I've now nominated
unsymmetric. Okay. You got this, Kay.
All right, here we go. All right, let me try real hard. I'm gonna sound it out. She unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine. Yep, on my dinitrogen tetroxide till I hypercholic.
Oh,
Here
these
we
are
are.
normal
Oh my
words.
God.
It's not that bad.
Oh
Really, these
my
are normal words.
God.
I'm a videographer.
Dimethylhydrazine.
Sure.
Dinitrogen
Yeah,
tetroxide.
This is why you get paid the big bucks and I film things.
You say that like I'm an esteemed stockholder of IGW.
Yeah.
20%
It's
of the
like we get
company
paid at
plus
all.
royalties. No, to be fair.
Wait, you're getting paid to be here?
No, to be fair, I gotta say, to work with IGW and video colorizing, I got given a very nice DaVinci Resolve Studio license, and if you work with software, you'll know that's not cheap. So they do take care of their people here.
Yeah.
The value of those is around $300-ish, I think. So
Indeed.
it's very, very nifty.
Man, wait, hold on. Can we put a poll up, possibly? Who do we think is going to be hosting the live stream for SpaceX? Is it going to be the same as the last Scrub launch, or do you think Jesse's going to join the live stream this time?
Are we gonna get a John?
Oh.
Any
Mr.
Johns in
Inspector?
chat?
Any
You
Johns
believe in
in
John
chat?
today?
I would love so much if John gets it. Dude,
Oh,
John is my favorite.
If John gets it, we're launching.
100%.
Exactly.
I've also seen a statistic that says every time Jesse's been on the live stream commentary team, it's gone pretty well.
Brian's just mentioned SpaceX is live. Spacewalk is asking SpaceX live. Yes, but don't go anywhere. Right now they're just playing their intro. We actually have it ready to go. They're not playing. They're not playing any useful information or any interesting video. The moment they do, we're going to bring it straight onto your screen. So don't worry. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of tea or something, or a coffee, I guess, if you're weird.
Joey says John, Jesse, Kate, dream team.
That's that would be nice. That would be nice.
That would be lovely.
I would be a Starship optimist for the rest of my days if we got that consistently.
Indeed.
We're now crossing T
And Dan, of course, we can't forget Dan the man. Come on, now.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, of course.
Dan, where would we be without Dan? Come on.
I love Dan. He's always great. He's so technical and like a little
He
out
is.
of it. He's wonderful.
Alrighty,
gotta love him.
Okay, guys.
What's up, Perigi?
What's up, Perigi?
I'm just noticing how much more just frost the ship and booster
yeah.
are giving off right now. And man,
It is getting
those
chilly.
things look angry.
And those are big tanks, by the way. I wonder if we could get a tasteful zoom out on one of those cameras just to kind of illustrate the scale here, because we've got quite a zoomed in cross section here. But as we come out, just take a look at the scale of this vehicle. Would you look at that?
SpaceX is rolling their intro, guys.
We'll bring that up for you in just a second, my friends.
Yeah.
As soon as the
We
music is gone.
unfortunately cannot play the audio of that intro because, oh boy, copyright.
We will get smitten
Yep.
by the copyright gods. We will get sued for $1 billion and be forced to spend the rest of our lives planting potatoes.
All at once. All at once. Tragic.
Thank you guys for being here with us. Very excited. Looks like we didn't make our goal, but that's okay. We'll have more in the future. Thank you guys.
We'll definitely have more in the future, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh yeah.
We're crossing 29 minutes now. We're getting closer to that next big milestone, which is T-minus 90 minutes and 40 seconds, where we start to get that lovely engine chill from Raptor.
I wish Brandon could jump in on our voice chat just to see how he's feeling out there. He's probably chomping at the bit for this thing to go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Someone said, wish one of you in chat sent NSF a super chat about licking the booster. Incredible. IGW's going international.
And we've now got that live SpaceX stream up for you. We'll be going
Awesome.
quiet.
All right. Enjoy. We'll be quiet.
Here at SpaceX.
And I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Welcome to our second ever broadcast from Starbase's new Star Factory building. First, if you don't count Monday. But we are at T-minus 28 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting down to a liftoff at the open of our window at 5:30 p.m. Central Time today.
3 days ago, we stood down from a launch attempt after triggering a few holds during the count, which had us hold at T-minus 40 seconds for several minutes, resume the count, and then trigger another automated hold. The final item that ended the day was when we encountered lower than acceptable pressure on the ground spin start system for 2 of the outer engines on the Super Heavy booster. All Raptor engines use high pressure gas to start up, and we use gas stored on the ground side to start up the 20 outer engines on Super Heavy. By the time this automated hold appeared and the team started to work through it, we also triggered a hold on the booster LOX levels and had to call it for the day.
We were able to trace the spin system issue to just a misconfig on some of the ground hardware, so that had a really straightforward fix. We just took the time, though, to look into some of the other items that resulted in holds throughout the count, including some of our automation was triggering holds on the booster, which we were able to actually clear during that launch attempt by confirming the hardware was healthy, and we had some manual commanding backups. We also looked at some pop-up hardware and software issues on the ship, and just to put us in the best possible spot for a launch today, we destacked Starship, did some repairs inside a ship, and then ran some additional checkouts.
And that brings us to today, just about a month and a half after our last flight, which saw the second ever tower catch of the Super Heavy booster and the first flight of our upgraded ship, which unfortunately ended much sooner than we had hoped. It's important to remember that in development programs like this, progress is not always linear, and there is no comparison to putting flight hardware in a flight environment to learn as fast as possible. We always want to be in the best possible position to achieve our mission objectives, which is why we stood down from launch on our previous attempt and took the time over the last few days to get ready for launch.
Now, the objectives for today's flight going to look very similar to Flight 7. As always, primary payload for these flight tests is data. We are planning to deploy some simulated Starlink satellites and fly a range of experiments focused on reentry. We removed a whole bunch of tiles again from the ship for reentry testing, looking to really stress test it.
We'll also be intentionally stressing the flaps during reentry so we can test the limits of ship before we get ready to attempt future ship catches. So there is a lot of new testing happening today, and as always, excitement is guaranteed.
Now, just a real quick status check. So you could tell we're loading prop onto the vehicle. We were able to get through our prop load go, no go just about 40 minutes ago. And we are loading liquid oxygen, liquid methane on both vehicles, not tracking any vehicle problems, issues on either booster or ship. Weather is green right now. Winds at the pad are actually significantly lower than they are even just for us over here at the Star Factory. Just a couple mile difference makes a big change in those wind speeds. And range is currently projected to be go, but we are always watching any boats that are out there in the ascent and the entry. Now, let's take a couple of minutes to meet today's vehicle. Sitting there on the pad, it's the world's biggest rocket, Starship.
Starship consists of 2 stages, the ship, which has 6 Raptor engines, and the Super Heavy booster, which has 33 Raptor engines. Both stages are fully reusable. Super Heavy is the most powerful rocket ever flown and is designed to launch, return, and refuel, and launch again with 0 refurb between flights.
And then everything else you see around Starship, we refer to as Stage 0. That includes the towers. We've got our second launch tower stacked on the left side of your screen there, getting ready to come online later this year. It also applies to orbital launch mounts, our quick disconnect systems, everything on board. Also the water-cooled flame deflector, which is right underneath Starship. That's a particularly cool piece of engineering. It uses several 100,000 gallons of potable water to offset the pretty intense heat pressure coming out of those 33 Raptor engines at the bottom of the Super Heavy booster at the time of liftoff.
Now, you mentioned engines. Of the 6 Raptor engines on the ship, 3 of those are optimized for sea level performance and the other 3 for vacuum. Raptor Vacuum, or RVAC, well, those have a larger exhaust section and expansion nozzle to maximize efficiency in space, as there's no atmosphere up there. The ship as a whole is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface.
The ship itself has 4 flaps that are used to control its attitude and enable precision landing during subsonic flight. And then for full reusability, the ship has to survive re-entry not just once, but multiple times. It does that by using that heat shield, which is composed of those thousands of hexagonal ceramic tiles, which can insulate the vehicle during re-entry, temperatures spiking up to about 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit in some spots. And a rapidly reusable heat shield has never been flown on any vehicle in history. So continuously improving the one we have, Starship, is still a key focus of our flight test campaign.
And of course, in between our first and second stages is our hot stage. Hot staging is when the second stage engines ignite while still attached to the first stage. There you can actually see a video of our previous hot staging maneuver, or executed on a previous flight. And how the ship's engines light while it's still ignited while the booster's engines are still firing. Basically, the rocket never stops accelerating, which makes it more efficient than traditional stage separation.
And then after we launch the booster, we also have to catch the booster. And we do that by using the 2 robotic arms, the same ones that lift Starship onto Super Heavy before we launch. They also catch the booster when it returns. It means we don't have to have any landing legs in the booster. That's a lighter booster. It means we can put more payload, more stuff going to space.
Thousands of criteria must be met before the booster can return and be caught. It requires a healthy systems and manual commanding from the flight director.
And just like on our previous flights, if that command's not sent before the end of the boost back burn, or if those automated health checks running in the background find any unacceptable conditions on the booster or the tower, they'll kick us out, and the booster can default to a landing burn and a soft splashdown out there in the Gulf.
Yeah, we've said it before, we'll say it again because it still holds true today. We accept no compromises when it comes to ensuring the safety of the public and our team, and the booster return will only take place if those thousands of conditions are right. So as the clock continues to tick down to launch, let's say hello to Chris, who's once again posted up in Hawthorne. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, Kate and Dan, and welcome everyone to Hawthorne, California. As you can hear and as you can see, the crowd is gathering. Excitement is really building here for Starship's 8th flight today. And speaking of flight, let's talk about the Raptor engines, which have quite a workout ahead of them today. Now, our Raptor engines are designed and manufactured right here in Hawthorne, and they have certainly accomplished some impressive things already. They've powered Starship in its first few flights around Earth, and they've helped bring 2 Super Heavy boosters back for a catch by the Mechazilla system at the launch site. But here at SpaceX, we're always looking to improve our designs, and we do this by using something that we call the algorithm. Now, for Raptor, the algorithm has helped us question the requirements for the engine, find the parts that we don't need, and then optimize the design for manufacturability and reuse. This allows us to simplify designs and drives us toward that rapid, reliable reuse. And as you can see on your screen here, it is definitely what we have done with the Raptor engine. Look at that beautiful family photo. You can really see how Raptor 3 is an unprecedented step forward in design, It eliminates the parts we don't need. It moves a lot of stuff inside the engine. And one thing that it also allows us to do is to delete the heavy engine heat shields that are used on the current version of Raptor today. And what that means is that when we switch to the Raptor 3 engine later this year, we'll be able to save about a metric ton of mass per engine. And when you multiply that by 39 or more engines, that's a lot of mass. And that mass savings actually helps us increase Starship's efficiency and the amount of payload that we're able to deliver to space and to Mars with Starship. But before we get to Mars, we still have a lot of important and critical development work to do. And it's flight tests like today's that help us do just that. Needless to say, the Raptor teams here in Hawthorne are very excited for today's flight and to see their hard work fly, just like all of our Starship teams are today for Flight 8. So Dan and Kate, back to you for some more info on Flight 8.
Thanks, Chris. You mentioned development. Let's talk about things that we learned from our last Starship mission. In January, Flight 7 of Starship generated lots of important data. That data led us to change some of our pre-flight testing for today's flight. A major find from Flight 7 was the detection of a harmonic response that was much stronger during flight than anything we had seen during testing.
That's right. Rocket engines create incredible amount of noise, vibration that can pass through every component in the rocket itself. Flight 7, we saw those vibrations at a specific frequency. They were also strong in a strong enough amplitude that it was placing a lot of extra stress on some of Starship's propulsion system. And that's what most likely led to propellant leaks that then cascaded into fires and ultimately our loss of contact with the ship.
As part of our investigation, our team took this flight's ship through a 60-second static fire, which was 10 times longer than any previous static fire. The test cycled through throttle levels to recreate different conditions seen within the propulsion system during flight. You can see that on your screen now. We also tested hardware changes on fuel feed lines to Raptor's vacuum engines.
The additional data we got from this test specifically led to some new hardware that's installed in the RVAC fuel feed lines, which are also unique to this upgraded version of ship. Those feed lines look like large straws. They run through the oxygen tank, and those are delivering fuel directly to those vacuum engines. The new hardware was successful in significantly lowering the strength of that harmonic resonance and relieving the extra stress on the prop system. And then just in addition to new hardware, we made a couple of operational tweaks, adjusting things like the temperature of the propellant as it's being fed to the engines, also changing the throttle level that we're setting those engines at on a set.
We also looked at where fires broke out in the attic, which is the unpressurized space between the bottom of the ship's liquid oxygen tank and the engine heat shields. Fires here resulted in loss of ship on flights 2 and 7, so we took steps to make it more resilient to leaks. We added a hefty purge system that uses gaseous nitrogen. Similar to the carbon dioxide system on the booster, it floods the zone with an inert gas to help prevent a fire.
Yeah, we also increased the attic's just natural fire defense. We added some more vent holes that helps to keep that attic pressure close to vacuum as Starship flies into space, makes it harder for a fire to ever exist. And then on the next generation ship, we're going to do the best thing possible and just start deleting some parts.
Yeah, the best part is no part.
The next generation of ship is going to use Raptor 3 engines, which are going to reduce that attic volume, and they're also going to eliminate most of the joints on the engines themselves that can leak into the space.
In the end, these changes represent the core of our test program. We fly hardware in a real-world environment, learn from the data, make updates, and fly again.
And then today we're going to be attempting to do everything that we didn't get to do on Flight 7. So we're still looking to get our first re-entry with the upgraded ship, while we're going to be really intentionally stressing it again to get data on what the vehicle's boundaries are. So everything we've got ahead of us, as always, starts with liftoff, and that's super heavy, igniting those 33 Raptor engines, lifting off from the pad here at Starbase for that initial ascent. All 33 will burn for the first roughly 2 minutes before we get into hot staging.
For hot staging, the second stage will ignite its engines while still attached to the first stage. That will create that stage separation. The booster will perform a flip maneuver and head on back to the launch site here just behind us. Then we will hopefully see the third ever tower catch by the launch tower.
Meanwhile, ship completes its ascent burn, gets into its suborbital trajectory. We've got some extra things we're going to do in space, like deploy those Starlink simulators, Also going to be relighting one of the Raptor engines, one of the sea level engines, before we get into re-entry.
Yeah, that re-entry phase will test multiple experiments, including missing heat shield tiles, metallic tiles, and loading the vehicle's flaps. The ship will then perform a flip maneuver and hopefully achieve a soft water landing as we have seen before. We've got some buoy cams stationed out there to give us great daylight views of that splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, it's a lot, but again, we're really focused on finding what are the real world limits of Starship. We're doing it in this very remote area to find those limits before we get ready to return ship to the launch site and eventually catch it. And a lot of the upgrades we made to get to this version of ship are going to enable that.
Yeah, man, that's going to be exciting to see ship catch.
It's going to be wild.
Now, Ship 7 premiered a huge block of upgrades to add more capability to Starship, and we've carried them through to test on Flight 8 today. First, the forward flaps got a redesign. They have shrunk and shifted away from the ship's belly or the heat shield. You can see that on your screen there. This new position will reduce their exposure to heating during re-entry. We've also extended the length of Starship, and we've done this by 2 meters. This additional height gives us about 25% more propellant volume, which will aid in future longer duration missions. We also implemented propulsion upgrades such as new fuel feed line system for the Raptor vacuum engines, as well as vacuum jacketing of feed lines and an improved propulsion avionics module.
And you've heard us talk, a lot of the experiments we're running today are focused on re-entry. We're intentionally removing a whole bunch of tiles all over Starship itself in this missing tile test. They're removed in critical areas this time, including over those propellant tanks, around some of the flaps, as we're really looking to use this flight to push Starship's capabilities. If we're not resilient to a missing tile and the backup ablative underneath, we need to know that. We also test a couple of different tiles on Starship, some metallic ones, one of which has some active cooling built into it.
Avionics also underwent a complete redesign with 4 upgraded Starlink terminals. You can see the location there popping up on your screen. Those now combine Starlink navigation and radio frequency, as well as communications, into a single unit. And non-structural versions of the ship's catch fittings have been installed to test thermal performance, i.e. do they survive re-entry, along with a smooth and tapered edge on the tile line to address hot spots we covered and saw in Flight 6.
And we've got some radar sensors on the tower catch arms again, as we're just looking at different ways to measure distance between the arms and a vehicle. These ones are actually protected by kind of a modified version of our heat shield tiles. Catching the ship's going to be a little different from catching the booster. One of the key things is it's going to do that flip right before its landing burn that rapidly reorients your antennas, which you're using for navigation. So those extra sensors on the ground side help just add more layers of control as ship and tower talk together for the catch.
And in another first, Starship will deploy 4 Starlink simulators. They are similar in size to our next generation Starlink satellites. Starship will have the ability to deploy our advanced V3 Starlink satellites, which will help further Starlink's impact in the coming years as we work to expand access to high-speed internet all around the world.
Each Starlink V3 launch is planned to add about 60 terabits per second of capacity to the Starlink network. To give you some perspective, that's about 20 times the capacity we're adding right now with every V2 mini launch on a Falcon 9. Those Starlink simulators that we're going to deploy are on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship itself. They're expected to demise upon entry. Starship's trajectory looks super similar to our last couple of flights. Splashdown is targeted for the Indian Ocean. And then on top of all of that, again, we are planning to relight one Raptor engine while in space. That just helps us get data on the in-space burns and show Starship is capable of deorbiting.
Speaking of deorbiting, thanks to Starlink, one of the hallmarks of the Starship missions are the incredible views that we get throughout flight, and especially during re-entry, as evidenced by many a phone and desktop background around here. Every day, we're working to expand the Starlink network both on Earth and in space. For how this all connects us to the big mission, let's head back to Chris.
Thanks, Kate. Personally, I love all those epic views of the plasma wrapping around Starship during re-entry. Can't wait to see that later today. And fans of Starship may know that Starlink enables us to bring you lots of unprecedented views, both from space and here on Earth. Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation, operating in low Earth orbit today to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet and connectivity, specifically for missions like Starship today. And as you can see on your screen, Starlink brings us many other views because of its capabilities. In addition to the dozens of cameras on Starship itself, we have mobile camera kits with Starlink deployed in the Indian Ocean, which is what you're seeing some footage of right now on your screen from a previous mission. You'll notice the Starlink mini dish in the foreground here as Starship lands in the background. Just what an image that captured from an earlier flight. Now, Starlink also connects our aerial and cinematography units on the ground at Starbase, which will help us deliver the incredible drone shots leading up to launch today. And here on your screen, you can actually see us moving the flaps, preparing Starship for flight, making sure all of the aero surfaces that need to move during flight can do so in the way that we need them to. Now, on Starship itself, Starlink will enable Starship today to stream more than 120 megabits per second of real-time, high-definition video and telemetry in every phase of flight, including views like you're seeing right now of those flaps moving. This not only helps provide those views, but it also helps give our engineers an incredible amount of data to help us rapidly and iterate across all parts of the system as we move through our development program. And all of the streaming data today will definitely be put to good use with the more than 30 cameras on the vehicle for flight. But providing epic views is sort of a side quest for Starlink. Its main job is obviously to provide internet access for people around the world, many of whom who have never had connectivity before. Now, today, Starlink serves more than 125 countries, territories, and other markets with over 5 million active customers and counting. And there are just so many inspiring ways that people are using Starlink all around the world and in space. And hopefully today, in a few minutes, everyone will get to see more inspiration about what our future in space looks like. And Dan and Kate, how are we looking for Starship's flight today?
Thanks, Chris. We are looking forward to those views as well. In fact, we're getting ready to launch Starship in just over 8 minutes. Now, as for a couple status updates, working no major issues on the vehicle. Range is emerald green, you could say. Everything looks great in terms of the sea and airspace here in the Gulf of America, as well as in the Indian Ocean. Of course, we want to make sure both areas are clear as the ship will be splashing down in the Indian Ocean while the booster's going to be coming back to us at the launch site just a couple miles behind Dan and I. Weather, you could call it a silver lining that we had to delay from Monday, because holy moly, visibility is 1,000 times better today, and it's going to make for some really great views. Now, leading up to today, we did stack the vehicle later last night. Flight controllers reported to their consoles earlier today. The site was cleared and the range team was deployed.
That's right. And a lot of checkouts have happened just throughout the day, aligning our guidance, navigation, control, getting all the tanks ready for prop load, which has about 4 minutes left to go. You can see us almost topping out on ship, getting ready to top out on booster. And then it also includes getting all the ground support systems checked out, ready to go. Chopsticks were demated, did their wiggle test in advance of their upcoming catch opportunity. So as I just said, prop load's ongoing. We've got a little over about 4 minutes left until, or about 4 minutes. What's 7 minus 4? 4 minutes until we get to closeouts on ship and on booster. We did just hear that the range did pull again green. So we're not tracking any issues right now. Bottom line, things are looking great for launch at the top of our window at 5:30 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, very exciting. Now, once again, we are attempting to catch the booster at the launch tower. If that happens today, it will be the 3rd ever booster catch. This is an aspect that I really enjoy, and it's how the vehicle announces that it is back.
It lets you know.
Oh, yeah. This comes in an audible sonic boom in the area around the return location, which occur when the booster slows down from traveling at supersonic speeds. Similar sonic booms were heard during the return and landing of NASA's space shuttle.
Yes, sonic booms are unique to vehicles returning from space. They're kind of a hallmark of reusable systems like our Falcon 9 rocket and Falcon Heavy. General impact to those in the surrounding area is that brief thunder-like noise. I've been fortunate enough to be here for all of them so far. They definitely let you know the vehicle's coming. Here's a little bit about what it's like to experience it.
And as someone who grew up hearing those sonic booms as the shuttles landed in Florida, and now hearing them for Falcon and Starship as well, they really are something to experience. And when you hear them, you just know it's a spaceship telling everyone that it wants to be reused. Great sounds. So as you can hear, the room is getting excited here in Hawthorne. The crowd eager to see Starship fly, as you can see and hear. Now, behind me in our flight control room here in Hawthorne, you can see some of our folks on console. They're assisting the flight controllers in Starbase, keeping an eye on all of Starship's various systems, including its avionics and those Raptor engines we talked about a little bit earlier. So Dan and Kate, with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock, let's hit it back to you at Starbase and hopefully watch Starship lift off today.
Thanks so much, Chris. Now, if you're just joining us, we're now just about 4 minutes until the liftoff of the 8th test flight of Starship. As we reported earlier, range and weather are both very green, super green, if you will, and everything is looking good. Propellant loading continues to happen. We're going to be closing out very soon on both stages of Starship.
Yeah, we're almost fully fueled on our tanks. We're going to see that closeout coming in just about 30 seconds on ship. So that's both the main and the header tanks. And then about 30 seconds later on booster. Once prop load is complete, we've got just shy of 1 million pounds of liquid propellant. That's liquid oxygen, liquid methane onto both vehicles. All of our ground systems will do what's called pushbacks. They'll clear all those feed lines. We're not continuously replenishing the propellant on board Starship or super heavy. That's why we essentially have several minutes where we can hang out at that T-40 hold point before we start to run into issues with temperatures or just those LOX levels, or that LOX level on the booster is one of the main things that we watch. So we're also going to do a couple of final checkouts. We'll do one final one of the thrust vector control, the TVCs on the booster. We'll see them hopefully do a little bit of a wiggle test. The first one comes at about 1 minute 40 seconds before launch, and then the last one comes right as we pass that T-40 gate. Again, if we need to hold, which we held a couple of times on Monday, we can do so at that T-40 second. We're not currently tracking any issues that would hold us there, but if we do run into that, we can hang out for a couple minutes.
That would be the point in the countdown, as we mentioned on Monday. That T-40 second point is when we can pause to hold for final checkouts or pressurizations if necessary. But once we pass that T-40 second mark, a number of things are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems will come up to flight pressure. The ship goes to internal power, and after that, the quick disconnect or QD arm lockout. That's removed in preparation for retraction.
All right, we're now crossing T-minus 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We're getting awfully close to that critical launch time. We're going to have one of those cameras tracking up for you, and one of them remaining static so you can properly appreciate this rocket. As we cross 340 seconds, again, as I said, that will be our absolute final point at which we can hold, and we'll be proceeding straight through that if we manage to get that far.
Boy, I hope we don't hold today. I hope we just blow right past it. Quickly, before we jump into this launch, just a quick note. There might be some visibility from the ISS. Don Pettit's son is on X, and he has said that it will be orbiting northeast into the Caribbean near T0, right as orbital night arrives. So that could also be exciting from the space station.
There's our TVC, our thrust vector control checkout.
It's going to be one of the best launches of the Starship program ever, boys. I can feel it. This is going to, my God, this is going to be awesome.
And the landing
Getting sweaty hands now. We're ready to go.
This is fall to pieces.
We don't have that
all of us are rolling. It's, oh my God, this is the best. This is the best.
And gotta say, as we cross through T-minus 1 minute, thank you very much, all 225 of you, for sticking around and staying with us. Do stick with us. We're going to keep bringing you some of the best stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Only 40 seconds left. How are we feeling?
Oh.
How are we feeling?
I'm gonna throw up.
Possible that our PTZs will have less latency than the SpaceX stream. We might actually see it on our cameras very first.
Yeah.
We're holding at T40.
Hold at T40. Oh Lord.
Yep.
All right, we are gonna hold it.
Just doing final checks.
40.
Final checks. It's okay.
We're watching the temperatures.
It better be
the
final.
ship right now for the fuel.
Oh. Come on, they might release it. Come on.
I was like, they're just watching
we might be able to
temperature for the ship fuel, just making sure that's within bounds, and if it is, they'll proceed through the T-minus 40 mark. Oh, they can stay here for a little while.
They're going. They're going. 37, 36. Let's go, baby.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Here we go.
Clock is rolling.
Oh my god, I will try not to scream too loudly. Oh
It's
man.
a bit difficult.
Now
Indeed.
30.
seconds till the
It's too
liftoff
exciting.
of the 8th flight
I
of
reckon we're
Starship.
seeing a launch.
I think we're go for launch, baby!
Yeah!
There it is.
Today is go for
Let's show some excitement in chat. How about
Oh
that?
my god.
Go!
We got 10 seconds, baby. Let's
15.
go!
Here we go.
There it is on our cam. Look at that.
Oh my
That is
god.
beautiful. There it is. Lift off. We're away.
Lift off.
About time too.
Oh my god, wow.
Let's go!
Wow.
We are
From the
so
SpaceX team,
back.
we have
We are so
33
back.
successful ignitions, 33 engines running well.
Yo!
And that is a
Oh,
good
let's
climb away.
go.
Look at
Look
that!
at those PTZs just shrouded in dust. Look at that
Oh,
SpaceX
wow.
team.
Oh, that view on the stream is beautiful.
Wow.
Wow!
All 33, baby.
Let's go!
Tilting
Pressure is
away from the
nominal.
tower perfectly. All looks fine.
Oh,
We're doing
Wow.
well
Oh,
so
look at
far,
the color.
2
It's
plus
beautiful.
30 seconds
This is
now on the SpaceX
oh
amazing.
my god, this is so great.
Oh,
There's that beautiful sound.
All right, we're a little over 40 seconds.
Telemetry,
into the
let's
flight.
quickly check
Let's
the
timeline now. We've got 15 seconds to go until we reach max Q, which is the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. If we proceed through
Oh,
max
wow.
Q, that's a good
Oh my
milestone.
lord.
Pushing us downrange over the
Crossing
Gulf.
1,000
Next milestone coming
kilometers
up
per
in
hour
just
now.
under 10
That's an awfully
seconds is
big
gonna be
number.
max Q,
And here
that
comes max Q.
aerodynamic pressure.
Oh yeah.
Watch that.
Whoa, look at that.
Watch
Paper
those
cone.
condensation effects.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. You've pulsed through the
That's
transonic
incredible.
regime. We're now going
oh
supersonic.
jellyfish! Oh, baby!
Yeah.
Ah.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're
Oh
through
my
max
god.
these
Q.
Wow.
Next milestone
Camera.
coming up,
The heaviest
T
stresses
plus
is kinda
now,
see on the way
which
up.
is nice
Wow,
to
that
say.
was pretty
2 minutes and 32
I'm still
seconds. We're going to have
recovering.
most of the engines
Another
cutting off
Starship.
That was
on
amazing.
the super heavy booster.
Blast.
Beautiful views.
Should all go well.
Of
The booster's going to
vehicle
return
on
to land.
ascent,
Yeah.
pitching downrange
It
away
better.
from the launch tower.
Thank you for sticking with us to get,
Next
I think,
thing
one of the
coming up
best
is
views
hot
of that
staging.
launch.
So we're going to look for
But we're not going
engines
anywhere.
Look
Please
at
stick
on
around.
those
while we're still
raptors.
attached to the top of the booster. We'll see all but those 3 center engines shut down on booster.
1 minute 50 seconds now. Getting awfully close to that engine cutoff. That's going to happen at 2.5 minutes.
Oh wow.
Go for booster catch,
Here's the
baby!
initial
Let's go!
call that we are go for
All 33 engines
catch
still running
back
well.
here
The
at
pressures look
launch
good.
tower.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Look at that thermal cam.
Yeah.
Amazing
That's
tracking
sick.
shot.
Well, not thermal cam,
Ship's
sorry, but
engines
tracking cam
will
even.
ignite while still
my God.
attached to the super heavy booster, and also
Oh,
the super
wow.
heavy booster
Oh
will
my
still be
God.
under power
There's
itself.
that keel over.
Yep.
2 minutes 25 seconds. 5 seconds away
good.
from
Snaps holding
cutoff.
the two
Let's
All
watch.
right.
Together are going to release.
Nico!
Let's
There's
go.
Nico.
Go. Yep.
Nico,
There we go.
Good cutoff.
Ship engine startup. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I can't even
Oh,
speak.
that sequence
Booster
is
coming.
so pretty.
Woo!
Separation
Yeah.
confirmed. All 6 engines on the Starship running well.
Oh,
Alrighty.
that
We've had
view
2
of
ignition
booster.
failures. 2
Wow.
ignition failures on the booster. But it is continuing
There
to
we
move
go.
away and do so
Ship
steadily. Its
engines, all
attitude
6 Raptors
looks
ignited.
alright.
We're
It seems
doing
safe.
that boost back burn. Looks like we got 11 of the 13
Ship looks
that we
nice and
command
stable.
for that, so
Now
that's
We
good.
still
crossing
go for booster return.
4,750
Back.
kilometers
We
per
are
hour at
still go
76
for booster
kilometers
return, even with
into the
two
sky.
Raptors out
We lost
during that
ship
boost
view.
back. We can do a
We
full
lost ship
duration
view
one.
again.
Looks
We've
like
still
we
got
a
ship
ship,
telemetry,
6
so that's a
engines
good sign.
heading into space. And then we got a booster.
Just
hopefully
keep
on our
watching those
way
numbers in the
back.
bottom
Come on,
right
we
for
need
your
a
ship
catch. We need a
telemetry.
catch.
How's everything going in Hawthorne,
There's a ship view
Chris?
coming back.
Everything is looking good. The crowd eagerly followed that ascent and now watching the booster coming back. So as you can see on the left-hand
All right,
side of your
telemetry
screen
nominal.
here,
We're
that is
still
ship
good then.
continuing. That's a great view
Wow.
of ship continuing on
Holy
its way
crap.
to space. They're looking.
That.
Oh
that's
my
inside the camera,
god.
inside the
It's
aft,
beautiful.
looking
There we
at
go.
the Raptor vacuum and the sea level engines. The sea level
All
ones
right,
there in
come
the
on,
center
just
of your
tell us that
screen
that booster's
under our
coming
T-plus
back.
clock. You can
Real.
see
Oh,
our
what a
boost back
shot.
burn. We're down
That
to
is a
3
Saturn
Barely
V
see a
shot,
plume.
isn't it?
burn.
Yeah.
That is a
and
Saturn
Oh,
V
see
shot
wow,
right
that
there.
little bit of a mock time, and you can
That
see
is-
on that Raptor. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh my
god,
it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, here's our booster.
Kilometers in altitude and continuing its trek
Really
right
is
now
amazing.
back to the landing site and catch
Boost
site.
back shut down.
and we just heard a good call out for
It's looking
boost
good
back
so far, I
shutdown.
have to say.
The next thing we should see
Altitude
on
is
our
nice and
screen
steady.
is the
Ship engines are still
separation
running well.
of
We're
the
crossing
hot stage
108
from
kilometers
the
now. We're
super
well
heavy
into
booster.
space,
We
past the
jettisoned
Kármán
that
line.
because we do not
6.4
need it for the
kilo
landing,
kilometers
but
per
on
hour.
future iterations of the
Look at
super
that.
heavy, that hot stage ring
Hot
will
stage
be
ring
incorporated
jettison.
into the booster, and we will get it
That's a
back.
good
There we
jettison.
go.
But for today, you can see
Yeah,
it
it's
on the
beautiful.
right-hand side of your screen there, just separating off
Obviously, the
from
hot stage ring being
right-hand side
something
of the
that
booster. You can
Yep.
also
that
see
had
this
to make
booster
some
doing its
fixes
liquid
to.
oxygen
Okay,
dump there,
wow.
which is
Oh,
exactly
look at
what
that.
you would expect
This
for
is
it
incredible,
as the
man.
booster gets itself configured
We're still looking good
for the
now for our
landing
booster
gear.
catch, crossing 80
Now,
kilometers in
meanwhile,
altitude.
Starship will continue to coast after it reaches orbit for about 40 minutes or so, up to an altitude
Come
of
on,
Oh,
214
it's
please tell me
so
it's gonna be a
kilometers,
tower
but it's
catch.
still
As
got
it
a
enters
ways
the
to go
atmosphere, you're going to
there.
start to watch those
Currently
grid fins
accelerating
really
past
wiggle to try and bring the
75
booster in on a
kilometers
perfect
per hour
trajectory. You
there
might see
at
them even
velocity.
vibrate a little
And
bit
just
with a
look at
shock
those
And
great
we're looking
white
good,
aerodynamic
man.
entry.
We're
back.
looking good.
The Gulf coastline
Yeah,
there
it's looking
just looks
really tidy so
absolutely
far.
gorgeous.
Now we're going to see if they make a decision to
And there we hear
abort off
nominal
coast or
trajectories
make the
Oh,
landing.
there it
around,
is.
and Dan and
Look
Kate
at
Wow,
are
that.
look
at
at
5
that.
minutes,
That
5
is
stage
crazy.
ring.
seconds here.
Oh, they're catching
Into
this
the
thing. Come
flight.
on.
Everything looking good
Come
for the super
on.
heavy and for
They have
Starship
to.
today.
This is
What's it
sick.
like there at Starbase as we get ready to catch?
Yes!
Yeah, she
Ready
coming.
to get ready to catch, dude.
Be able to
They
see
confirm
the
it?
mock diamonds
Seems
Oh,
like they will.
incredible.
Oh my
was
So
god,
far-
please.
amazing. We are
Please,
So
we
far,
need
so
another
good.
catch.
for return of booster
Nice
back
to see
the
those
launch
engines chilling
tower.
down.
We're
Look
go
at
for
that.
I
catch.
have heard
We
that
are go for
Yes.
catch.
for
Yes!
Good.
the catch of
Let's
booster.
go.
Good.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Coming from one of our long-range tracking cameras, we're able to see the hot stage separate and fly away.
30
So
seconds, we should
coming
have a
up
landing
in
burn. Oh
just
my god.
About 30 seconds, we're going to look for the landing burn. We're going to command those 13
Yo, this is
inner
great.
Oh,
Getting
look at
warm.
how pretty that is.
Yes!
Oh,
Crossing 18
Oh,
kilometers
yes.
now,
so
getting
pretty.
Oh, that's
tasty.
thermal!
Oh,
Crossing
look
through
at
the
that.
clouds.
Slowing down.
Yo!
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Let's
Down
go!
to 3 engines for that precision
10
flight.
kilometers.
We're
to
6
the tower.
kilometers. We're
God.
6
Right
now.
Oh,
5
Let's watch for these
so
engines now.
pretty.
Let's watch for these engines.
6.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that.
Oh, wow.
5
They're
Oh
catching
kilometers.
my
it.
goodness gracious. It's
There we
beautiful.
go.
Nice and tidy so
Look
far.
at that landing
Here it
burn.
comes.
Yeah!
Oh, here it
Watching for
is. Here
those
it is.
engines.
Best camera. Oh, yes!
There we
Yes!
go. Ignition. We've
Oh.
got one failure.
Yeah.
One ignition failure. Well, they're looking good still so far. Now down to 3
Left
sensor
down to
engines,
3.
looking good.
Down to
Yo,
3. Come
this
on.
200
shot is
kilometers an hour.
great.
They're
Oh,
vectoring
come on,
nicely,
come
coming
on.
back into that tower.
Catch it,
You
catch
can
it.
do it, baby.
The sonic boom.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh
my
Come on,
my
come on, come
god.
Oh my god. Oh my
Yo!
god, they did
They've
it
done it
again!
again.
Oh
They did
my
it again!
god, baby.
We're
And
sick.
that is engineering
As
done
easy
right.
as that, baby.
Christ.
Yo,
It is
look
easy
That is
as
a
at
that.
reliable
that power
system.
cam. Wow.
Well, that booster has gotten toasty, that launch.
Oh, a little charred.
Gotten toasty.
Yeah!
That will
Amazing.
hold.
I can only imagine how Brandon feels right now.
All right.
Oh
He's,
yeah.
I mean, he's
We saw
probably
12 out of
jumping up and
13
down,
light for that
screaming,
landing
peeing his
burn.
He's
pants.
freaking out right now,
Amazing.
dude.
Now let me
Oh
just
my
say,
god.
Precision
let me
burn
just talk about the sheer
300
destructive power
for
of
the tower
Starship.
catch, so
We
booster caught.
aren't seeing very much from
Meanwhile,
PTZ1 or
keep an eye on
PTZ2 right
ship.
now.
Still got 6
The last
laps
frame
to
we've
burn.
seen is a
Those
red
are gonna
cloud
continue for about another
Oh my god.
that
until
we
Booster
will, of
clutch,
course, have
dude.
we will have some terrific video to show you
Really cool
in the
view.
run after this launch. We're
Again,
going to go grab all
a
of that
million
video and do some
shout-outs
magic
to all
with
of
it.
our avionics team who make these cameras possible for us. That's looking right down inside.
Ship
Now,
34 is
T+-
just going. It doesn't
T
look like
plus
it's gonna,
8 minutes.
nothing's gonna happen.
I think it looks all right. T plus 8 minutes, crossing 20 kilometers per hour.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh
That is a
no.
worrying engine shot
Wait.
out.
Oh,
my god,
no.
you're
Oh
kidding me.
no. No, not
Again!
again. Not again. No.
No.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
top
ship's
full
down.
tumbling.
No.
Full somersault. Oh,
It's
no.
Sonic!
Watching for
Oh my
telemetry.
god!
This is likely going to be grounds for an
We
FTS
don't need
trigger.
this. We don't need this.
Oh my
Oh, we
god.
don't need
You're
this,
kidding
SpaceX.
me.
No.
Oh
no.
my god!
No.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, at least we get views all the way down. This is crazy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Oh my
no.
god,
Getting
this Summers.
Fuel's gone.
We've lost several.
No,
Look at that
no,
pressure.
the fuel's sloshing. It's worse.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
Oh no.
Okay, that is.
Spiraling
over.
out of control.
This is
I don't-
unacceptable.
I don't think this is recoverable.
I
Oh
don't
my
think
God,
it's
I'm not
gonna
gonna
be
lie, guys.
okay.
I, you know, I've got a hunch this may be off nominal.
Oh, And we're gone.
Actually,
There
I
it is.
suspect this was not intended flight behavior.
Telemetry's still
Oh.
there.
So we'll
Still
We're
doesn't
back.
We're still
say
going. We're still
behavior.
going.
Still one engine.
Dog.
Oh my god, this is insane.
So this is
Oh,
pretty
look
bad
at-
news for SpaceX.
Turn
Look at
off
the
the
locks.
final engine.
Look
You're
at the
making it
locks,
worse.
Phil.
Joined us. We had
Look at the locks, Phil. It's
Oh my
over.
god.
Test flight
Our
of
hosts are down
Starship,
bad.
followed by
Oh,
a
look at Dan.
successful
Oh,
God.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
and
so
it is
upset.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh,
Oh,
poor
no.
Dan.
Hear what
The
they've got to
booster had a
say.
successful
Oh
check
my
back
god.
at the
Oh my
tower.
god. Oh no.
Unfortunately, it
It-
seems as though
it might-
Telemetry's
we
gone.
we might be
the,
cooked.
Guys, is
the
it gonna
active
come down in
control
another
of the
fucking
ship.
populated area?
We're
All right,
standing by
Starship is
as
lost.
we
We're going to now
stay
start keeping an eye
teams
on
the
X
nets to
and
understand,
social
Yeah,
media and
no.
try to look for any
Someone
re-entry
pull up-
footage.
Someone
Stay
pull up
with us.
flight radar. Emlyn, pull up flight radar right now.
Stay with us. We're going to bring you the latest as soon as we
Yeah,
have it.
oh
We'll
my
start crowding
god.
for you.
Holy shit.
the booster just behind us.
Yeah.
Oh
Certainly
my
different view than
god.
last time.
You're
And at this
kidding me.
point, we've essentially lost contact with the ship. We're no longer receiving telemetry at this moment.
Jesus Christ.
That was a very
We were
violent failure
only
as well.
Yeah,
about 20
extremely
seconds
violent.
away or so from the end of that ship ascent burn. We saw.
Do we have
several of the
do we have a
engines start to
location for
come
that?
out. Once you lose enough of those center engines, you're going to
Well,
lose
we're going to
attitude
try
control,
and put it
and so
together
we
now.
get
I
to
imagine
see
the
the
space
ship
engineer, if he's
start
around,
to
is
go into a spin,
definitely
and at
reviewing
this
this
point,
stuff.
we have
Oh,
lost
yeah,
contact
no.
with the ship.
Jesus
So
Christ.
we're going to listen in for a little bit. Just I think it's pretty obvious we're not going to continue the rest of the mission today, but
Good god, it
just give
just
us a couple more
blew
minutes.
the
We'll bring you
entire
more information
aft
as it
off.
comes in.
Yo, Dan is upset.
Fortunately, yeah, they've just told us that they don't think they've got any more information to share with us. They're going to stay with us and see what else they can bring us. In the meanwhile, we're going to keep prowling social media, looking for any shots that we can of any debris that might be re-entering soon. Whether it comes over populated areas or not, we're not sure. Probably won't, but we'll let you know.
Oh my god.
This
It
has
fucking
been
happened again.
wild day.
Oh my god. What was that? What was the final velocity of ship 33?
I'd have to look back. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Thank you to everyone in the chat that has been watching this with us. I'm just baffled.
Yeah, stick around with us. This isn't good news.
Hold
It's still
on,
good news for the
hold on.
Starship
Item
program.
2 landed on its side again and Starship just exploded again?
Yo.
It's not a great day, is it? It's not a great day at all.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. Well, if you're still with us and wondering why the hell the last two Starships have absolutely cooked themselves, this is a pretty new version of Starship. This is Block 2, so they've instituted a whole different range of changes. Unfortunately, there are also changes to the plumbing. And as we've seen, something that they've changed may be contributing to these failures. We've now had two that seem to be... I mean, this is just a hunch, but given the severity and suddenness of those engine failures and I don't know, man. It seems like something's going wrong down in the attic.
Yeah, someone in chat said it. I think there might have been a small issue. I concur. I concur.
A professional analysis has concluded
Ooh.
this
If you look on
is phenomenal.
on stream, you can see a recent post that was made. Not looking good. Not looking good.
Not looking good at all. We don't know the validity of this post. We can't confirm it. I'll try and look more into it, but that's what someone claims to have seen as Starship detonation.
We definitely are having a sense of deja vu out here. My goodness.
Good lord.
This might push back Flight 9 just a touch.
But the good news for you is that we will have caught that booster catch on some
Indeed.
of our cameras. We will have some really, really nice footage. to
Yeah,
share with you.
hey.
Look at
Oh
that
my
frame.
god.
So definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button because we will be bringing you a Swifty launch catch video recap.
Yeah, stay on tune for the merchandise. We got some good designs that, well, I was thinking they were going to kind of become irrelevant after Flight 7.
So coming back with you real quick. So can confirm we did lose
Jesus.
contact with the ship. Unfortunately, this happened last time too, so we've got some practice at this now. We've got a lot of measures in place, like debris response areas where we coordinate very closely with air traffic control. We have a lot of measures put before we ever launch a rocket to make sure that we're keeping the public safe. Those worked last time, and they're actively in work right now. So Just to recap real quick, everything we saw, we lifted off right at the top of our window, essentially at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Booster was able to get us all the way up into space, made its way back here. It's sitting on the tower right behind us, our third ever catch. Starship ignited all 6 of its Raptor engines. It was just about 20 or 30 seconds away. We'll get exact times from the end of its ascent burn when we started to see some engines go out on ship. Eventually lost attitude control and then lost contact with the ship shortly after. So obviously a lot to go through, a lot to dig through. We're going to go right at it. The primary reason we do these flight tests is to learn. We have some more to learn about this vehicle, but we're going to be right back here in the not too distant future, and we're going to get a ship to space.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We fly to learn, and we're learning a lot. And as is the case with developmental programs such as the Starship program, progress isn't always linear. So at this point, we're going to close out our webcast for the day. But before we do, we'd like to give a shout out to our viewers, of course, as well as our partners, both here in Cameron County and around the world. Now, once we know more about the mission today, we'll provide you with updates on SpaceX.com as well as at SpaceX on X. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Well, we're sticking around. Unfortunately, that is not the outcome we wanted, but we do have an awful lot of media to show you. This is a legitimate frame from what we think. This is indeed a Starship exploding. We're going to try and bring as much more to you as we possibly can. And meanwhile, tell us, well, I'm not really the biggest fan of speculation, but what do you think went wrong?
Wow, this has been quite interesting to watch. This happen yet again. Wow.
I said what I thought on stream. I don't think it would be very family friendly.
Oh, Lord. I think there aren't many words to describe that.
I mean, we did get another booster catch, which is great. SpaceX has proven they can do that, which is great. But we
3 times in a
have
row,
some things to learn.
very efficiently. So
yeah.
things that went wrong on this flight, we obviously noticed some ignition failures on the booster during its boost back and entry. So those are small things that they'll have to iron out. Luckily, they weren't in the gimbaling or in the center, gimbaling Raptors, so not a tremendous issue, but still an issue that they have to sort. As for the ship itself, the engine seemed to be going fine, seems to be going just perfectly, and then we had a pretty explosive failure, obviously, of it starting to tumble. SpaceX will publish a report, I'm sure, very soon. In the meanwhile, we're going to keep hunting for media for you.
Yeah, that was wow. I'm sorry. We are just quiet over here in mission control on our end. We're just trying to figure out what the heck happened, just like everybody else is. But it's thank you for being here with us for this. This is absolutely incredible.
Well, if you are leaving us now to go get your sleep, as Dusan Borisic is in chat, I see. Thank you for joining us. We are on various social medias, and we will be posting a lot of goodies there. I mean, we don't just do live streams. These are a very small part of what we do. In fact, the minority. Most of what we do is in recording, and so we're going to put together some of that footage and have it look really nice and tidy for you. So do take a look at our X, Interstellar Gateway. Take a look at our Instagram as well, our Facebook. We're on all of your social media, and take a look at, of course, this YouTube. Scroll back through, you'll find some nice videos. Maybe even become a member, support the channel. We're going to stick around. As I said previously, we're going to keep looking for content. If we get any nice frames of ours, we can go back and look at those. We've also got some pretty astonishing shots to show you that people have got of the re-entry. But yeah, at this stage, looks like the Starship is completely cooked. Block 2 Starship has now had 2 failures out of 2 launches, which is, unfortunately, a very bad look for the SpaceX Starship program, and it's a death omen. Let's just hope this gets ironed out.
Yeah, we are starting to see some posts floating around with some footage, and this is wild to see.
It looks like we've just found some re-entry footage here now, which we're going to bring up for you just shortly. But this is some serious footage.
We are queuing that up for you all to see
it's coming
on
up
stream.
for you in just a second.
Ooh.
It is disappointing. I have to admit, I waited
course.
this long for that.
Of course.
That's a shame.
Yep. But you know what? They're just gonna have to do it again.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe not this, but attempt again for sure.
Nowhere else to go but up.
we now have a
Literally.
lot of
That's one way to put it.
And maybe one day back down.
Well, good news is at least this isn't re-entering directly over the Turks and Caicos Ocean, sorry.
Indeed,
So it's
that
a
would have
little
been
little bit safer. Jacob says, "Wow, they landed Falcon 9 and Starship in the Bahamas. It's crazy stuff, man."
Wow.
We've got a video coming up for you in just a second here.
all sharing this together.
This is awful, awful stuff. Yeah, Tom, we're just bringing up that video for you right now. These are some mystical videos, man.
Yeah, the one we're about to show you guys is actually insane. Here it is. Check this out with us. Look at that. You've got that Bahama-colored water and just a ship exploding. Wow.
I don't think it's meant to do that.
Suboptimal.
Suboptimal. Joshua Ford saying, hopefully the engine camera got some better footage for them. I imagine they have so much footage. I mean, they've probably got cameras. In fact, no, they do have cameras inside the tanks, don't they? So there's definitely stuff that they can review. But should this be the same issue that they had last time, which we don't know, but should it be, that'll be really, really bad. The good news is, though, that the booster is now an ironed-out design. They'll be making small changes to it, obviously, to improve its reliability, but it's now proven that it can land and be recovered, and the booster is really the most important part of the puzzle. Starship itself is less important than having a rapidly reusable booster that can get you up to that high altitude. You can build a depot based on the Starship kind of model with relatively inefficient propulsion and still have a really, really powerful workhorse for refueling spacecraft in orbit. Obviously, Starship's half of the puzzle, but they've sorted the booster, so there is some success there.
About it. We know what's gonna happen. Back to flight in March.
Back to flight in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that this seemed to re-enter fairly predictably, so there shouldn't be a tremendous. Yeah, it's pretty dramatic. There shouldn't be a tremendous kind of review effort before they can fly again, but it isn't good. Andrew said, wouldn't switching to V2 booster also cause a few steps back? Yes. I mean, booster's fairly efficient now, so there's no tremendous reason to. There's tons of optimization that can be done on Starship because it's a much more complex vehicle, but booster itself is relatively much simpler. I think you'd disagree if you were doing the plumbing calculations for 33 engines, but in terms of the whole kind of scope of the vehicle and the structures, the structural load that it's meant to withstand, you get a bit more flexibility.
I am just. If you guys will go take a look at our X account, we just posted some imagery that was captured by one of our teammates, TSE. Definitely go check that out. It's wild. Thank you for the capture, TSE.
Yeah, the space engineer does always capture some insane stuff, and this shot, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Do have a look at our X account and you'll see some pretty crazy stuff.
Probably will.
Romulus says, not to mention they could begin reflying boosters to begin seeing what refurbishment takes. They definitely could.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they're a bit worried about the risk to the tower. But
Yeah.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure they could land in water or something if they were too worried. But I think reflying a booster is very feasible. It didn't seem like this booster really struggled much. I mean, aside from the engine failures, it didn't do anything too terrifying, you know?
In
To be fair,
chat, someone said Jackie caught something. Looks like an engine blew. I think everything blew.
Eventually, everything blew. Here we go. Now we've got this image up from the space engineer, of course.
Yes, check out
Contributing
this
member of Interstellar Gateway.
shot, man. Wow.
You can see that beautiful swirl there. Well, beautiful in some ways, I suppose. Awful in others.
Crazy, crazy stuff.
My girlfriend just texted me, "I'm here if you need a shoulder to cry on." Shout out to her. Oh my god.
I have just found a hell of a clip, which
Oh
you may not
boy.
see anywhere else too quickly, so you are seeing it probably first here. We're going to put it up for you just now, but someone was rather sneaky and looked back at the live stream. And you can see something that happened on a monitor. And to us, it looks like an engine exploded.
Woof.
That is what XSIX was mentioning, and we're going to put it up for you now.
Well.
And people are likely asking what happens now. I think this is definitely going to significantly delay the future flights, especially, you know, we've been looking forward to potential ship catch, but I think that is far away at this moment.
That is now far away.
Very far away. They were, you know, projecting Flight 9 for a ship catch, but with this being a second incident, the FAA is going to have to do some more investigating and have to wait for those reports, and we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. And regardless, we're going to continue to bring you guys epic views as often and as frequently as we can.
At least with the, without getting too political, for the current administration, I think Starship's funding is pretty safe. But
I would agree.
What I'm worried about is the timescale and the impact this is going to have on NASA's plans, obviously with Artemis and such.
Agreed.
One would question if failing fast is really wise right now.
Yeah.
Right there. If you take a look at that monitor up in the top left, see something blow.
There you go.
So we think that is well, it could be an engine exploding.
Right.
That's not a good failure. That is an awful failure mode.
Yep. Wow.
Animals just let us know that the booster is lowering. At this time, I'm not sure if we have contact with our PTZs.
Yeah, I think our PTZs might be a bit cooked.
I think they may have been slightly shell-shocked by Starship, but they were streaming live data up until that, so there will be some very, very nice video to go back and review.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Brutal, man.
Blue says the engines went out near exactly the same time as Ship 33. That's not good. That's really not good. As I recall, SpaceX never figured out the precise root cause of that issue either. They said harmonic resonance, which is all well and good, but harmonic resonance is quite a vague term. When your engine's shaking itself to bits and you don't know what exactly is going, and it does it a second time, predictably, that's not a good sign.
Interesting. Blue in the chat said, I just went back and watched. The engines went out at nearly exactly.
That's what I've just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So sorry. There's so much going on.
No, I know.
At all. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's worrying. It's worrying if that's
very, very, very. That means they might not have pinpointed the last issue.
There is asking PTC. I presume you're talking about our pan tilt zoom cameras. We've lost contact with those. We don't think those have exploded, luckily, because they're not filled with fuel. But they might have had some antenna damage from Starship. The last thing we saw was a cloud of red dust. We don't know, is the honest answer. We'll bring you more as we have it. But we will definitely have plenty of video.
I'm like, dude, I'm tweaking right now. Oh my god.
Dude, knee surgery and then this, bro. You are going to have the biggest crash.
You've had a day.
Let me wake up. Please let me wake up and it all just be a dream, man.
This
Oh.
didn't happen. Keep dreaming, man. Wake
We
up.
have an awful. This is an awful video. Oh no. Oh no.
Oi.
Oy,
It
oy,
looks
oy.
like the world is ending in that video, I'm not gonna lie. If you didn't know what was going on, you would, you know.
It's the Turks and Caicos yet again. Oh
Oh,
no,
no.
they saw it again, dude. They must be losing their minds out there, man.
They're probably just
God,
like, really? More?
Fuck's
Again?
sake, man, again. Oh my lord.
Craziness.
I don't think that shot needs color grading. I think that's pretty
No,
self-explanatory.
that's great and that's insane.
I think it's perfectly fine as is. Well, this is. I'm going to go out on a limb and speculate right now. I think this is the exact same failure mode, like precisely on a T.
I agree.
I think so. I
And
think so.
That's very, very, very bad news.
Yeah.
Extremely bad news, actually,
Because
because
it
that means they don't really know what happened.
Ship 33.
Precisely.
Ship 33 means they don't know.
Whew.
I think they're going to put ship launches on a long, long hold until they can nail this down to a T. I don't think they're going
Agreed.
to send another ship. There's no way.
I think we're going to see quite a few. We might see maybe one or two booster static fires work.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
yeah. I reckon they're going to do
which-
some fun, like, thrust vectoring stuff on the pad, but
Yeah, which might actually be good for our CEO Joey, so he can get some rest and recuperate. And
That should be
Brandon,
the-
who's on the ground, that has to go pick up all these cameras. My goodness.
Oh my lord.
Well, I will say, not sure if we can go back in time and look at the shots of our PTZs just before we lost contact. We'll see if that's possible. But that launch was seriously violent. A lot of stuff got kicked up. More than we've seen before, which will mean some incredible shots, but also leaves me slightly worried as to the condition of these slightly expensive cameras.
Someone in the chat said W for the employee for zooming into the engine explosion. Well, yeah, who's ready for
Thank you,
God.
unnamed SpaceX
Who's
employee.
ready for a ship 35 static fire, a ship 36 static fire, a ship 37 static fire, a ship 38 static fire? Oh my god. I mean, I'm joking because obviously we all know that like it's not. I hate to be this guy, but it's not like we're going right back. Like it's going to be on the pad soon. And like even though that seems delusional, like again, it like Flight 7 did like debris did go on populated areas. Like they were within the DRAs, but like there were people in the areas where the debris was. And it's barely been a month and they reflew. It's gonna happen again. There is no getting off of Mr. SpaceX's mild ride.
Fergie, I think to be a contrarian, fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice. I think
Again,
I
this
think
is the
this
part
is a
where
death
I
throw.
can't say the things I want to say because the stream
Because
stops
you would
being
be in
family
big
friendly.
trouble. Yes, yes. To say this in a very family friendly way, this is frigging stupid.
Yeah.
This is not great. Well, to be honest, I'm worried about what this says for HLS and for all these other like Starship roles. And I think this is really eroding trust and confidence in SpaceX.
Absolutely.
Twice in a row is
I agree.
very, very bad, especially with recent events. We'll see what ends up happening, but at any rate, we're still going to be taking videos of it, and you can see them first by being a member of Interstellar Gateway on the YouTube channal.
Exactly. If you
Be sure to subscribe to us here, like this video, hit that bell notification
Smash
button.
that bell, etc.
Hey,
Same
if you
time next
have-
month,
if you
Train
have-
High says. Yeah, we'll be here.
Oh my
We'll be
god.
here. Oh,
Yeah,
my
come and see exclusive content, guys.
We're going
Oh
to show you
my-
the ship exploding from another angle. It's going to be grand.
Oh my god.
Well, we've got another thing here to show for you, which looks like it's legitimate, and this will be slightly crazier video. I say slightly, I mean much crazier video. Sit tight. So, you know, thank you for sticking in. I'm very sorry for what you're about to see. This used to be a Starship.
Oh, that is
Oh
just
my
insane.
god. Twice in a
This
row.
used to be Ship 34. Twice in a row, it looks like the exact same failure mode. Re-entering in actually quite a similar area. I was wrong earlier. They did re-enter quite far.
Wow.
This is not great. Oh, the headlines tomorrow. Oh no.
Oh, stay off of Twitter tomorrow.
Oh
yeah,
we might
don't
wanna
even-
stay on stream.
I'm taking
we
a
might
mental
want to
health.
stay on stream for a couple more minutes. Might
Yup.
want to stay on stream for a couple more minutes.
Oh?
Yeah.
Why are you so
We
urgent,
are
OG?
we are going to stand by for a couple minutes because we have something really special to show you.
Oh, the
Send
file.
the stream link to your friends. We're gonna
Sick.
show you something special.
Oh,
Who's
we
this?
have Brandon back. Hold on,
Brandon's
Brandon,
back.
please tell us your thoughts and feelings. How are you? What the heck just happened?
Okay.
Oh, he might...
Hey,
Okay, he's here.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I need everyone to fill me in on everything.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
goodness.
Uh,
Okay. Hold up.
Can I give a summary? Can I give a summary?
Yeah, quantify, go.
Okay. Good launch, good separation. Some booster engine failures on boost back, otherwise fine. Some booster engine failures on entry, otherwise fine. Booster good catch, booster fine. Ship, fine separation. Engines continued running well around the exact same time as the previous flight. Looks like one engine blew, like full on exploded, and started tumbling uncontrollably. Fuel started sloshing. FTS sent, and now it's re-entry.
Here's your summary.
Okay.
There's a summary.
Yeah, I got most of
Big
I
ship
got
opening.
most of that already because here's what happened. I lost Starlink. Starlink died for me because it was hooked up to the amp battery and the battery died like an hour and a half, an hour before launch.
Mm.
So for the last hour, I had no internet or anyone. But they had at Ranch, they had the SpaceX stream playing, so we could hear pretty much all that stuff. There was some stuff I didn't know. What happened in terms of our equipment?
Oh, our equipment. Oh, okay. So the PTZs.
Brandon, we're still live. Just letting you know.
We are still live, Brandon. But it looks like our PTZs got a little cooked. The current screens we have are just full red out, and the other one just seems to be obscured by what I can only conceive is sand. Maybe the concrete effect we've had on our GoPros. Not sure, but
Okay.
we had good launch views, which is awesome. Yeah. So.
We're still
That's,
waiting on that very special video. Don't go. I know it's tempting to go doom scroll X, but stick around for a sec because we're waiting for this as well. We've got a video coming from Space Engineer, which apparently is going to be absolutely insane. He's apparently managed to get some kind of.
So wait, just to clarify, we are still live on YouTube and X.
We are
Yes,
very
sir.
much
Sir.
live.
Yes, we are very
Yes, sir.
We
Hey
have reached the stage of-
world! I'm calling live, leaving Starbase. That was crazy to see. Yeah, that was nuts.
Speaking of being live, we have a $5 super chat from Coffee Candy. I could have so many Swedish fish with the budget of that ship, but no. If you're how many Swedish
Shout
fish?
out
How much
Coffee.
Swedish fish could you have if you sold a Starship, you know?
Approximately as many pieces as Ship 34 just broke into.
Good answer.
Man, it's been 5 minutes. Please.
That's crazy.
Let me grieve.
Oh my
That's
god.
beautiful.
There's
Hey,
no
Brandon.
grieving, dude. You have 1 month before they fly Ship 35, brother. They're
Hey,
coming
Brandon.
for you.
Brandon.
Hang on, guys.
Hang on, guys. Brandon, can you still hear us? I know the signal's spotty out
I
there.
can still hear you.
Okay, I just want to
I'm
let
5
you
by
know.
5 right now.
Lovely. Just want to let you know, man. The black magic triggered, and it all looks like it went well.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
Yes! Oh my god, let's go.
That's good news for you guys as well, the
Let's
viewers of this
go.
stream, because we're going to have a pretty insane shot coming soon. The
Yep.
moment we have this video, I'm probably going to crawl out of bed, turn my computer on, and get color grading because there is going to be some wild stuff published.
Oh yes.
I'll give you guys some updates on equipment as well. Everything at the press site in which we were shooting at today fired very well. We got some really incredible footage coming from there, and I think you guys are going to be really, really excited about it because I am.
Good.
Oh man.
Brandon, you've received a great instruction from Emily. If you'd be so kind as to check general comms, please, my friend.
I think Brandon's currently driving. Just know that there is a note for you, and
Not
I think
for-
Brandon
not
is
for-
aware. Correct. But yes, thank you guys for sticking around. Looks like we still have a lot of viewers in the chat. Thank you so much. Very, very grateful for you guys supporting us and continuing to stick around with us to talk about what we saw with the SpaceX launch. And wow, what a day! What a day!
We're still hoping for that video from the space engineer. I reckon that'll be the last thing we show before we close. We'll see if we receive it. If we're stuck here waiting for a couple hours, maybe I'll go to sleep. I doubt it'll be that long. Should just be a few minutes now.
Wow.
Oh, we've got Emlin's just informed us that he's going to play something on stream for shits and giggles. If you'd be so kind as to watch the video, my friends.
Oh my god, really quick. We just got a $50 super
Daniel.
chat from
Whoa,
Daniel
Daniel!
Station.
Who's Daniel?
Wow, Daniel, thank you. That's massive.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Oh,
Okay, we have a
wow.
video coming up. Is that correct? Am I or something coming up?
Glinka
From...
Dinka, that
Hold
was a
on, another
fantastic
super
username.
chat.
$2. Glinka Dinka says propellant transfer pushed to 2026. I think so.
mean,
I
don't
think it's
see this
likely.
happening this year.
Really
I
like
would not be surprised.
I
They've
think
got
that's
to
long road to
square
go.
down. They've got to square down ship catch with the tower, and that's not going to happen.
Evidently,
Probably
this is a fuel
anytime
delivery
soon.
issue. I think they should solve that before trying to transfer the fuel.
Agreed.
There you go.
All right, we've got a video coming up for you guys in just a sec. We're getting queued right now, but please stick around because it is sure to be fun. Here it comes.
There we go.
There it is. Oh no.
The real
Sorry.
hard.
Oh man. Oy. That's so real.
Truly a classic.
Incredible.
I wonder
Well,
if this is going to make a
that-
noticeable impact to the ozone layer. This genuinely could be observable.
Yeah. Well.
We can do
Oh
that.
wait, hold up. Question for guys.
Yes.
How do you think our Ballistic Saurus Rex held up during that if our PTZs are
I don't
Oh,
think he's
Steve.
going to be doing
he's
so good.
gone.
Oh
He's
no!
not anymore.
It's
For
so
those of you-
over.
He
those
only
of
exists
you-
in our memory.
Oy. For those of you that don't know, we have a FBI grade ballistic gel out there in the shape of a dinosaur, and something tells me that it's not okay.
That
But we'll
guy's
see.
gone.
Dude, I'm not okay.
Oy.
My day's
Yeah.
ruined. Oh lord. Well, look. While
Uh.
we wait for this footage, we're gonna go ahead
gonna-
and rewatch some of the highlights of that
Let's,
absolute train wreck of a launch.
Let's take a look at the somersault here in just a second together and just relive the
Let's
trauma.
let's
trauma
rewatch
bond
this.
together.
Let's rewatch this. Well, I've still got 88 of you. Thank you for sticking around. I do appreciate your company. Things are going to slow down from here, but we're going to have a very nice video coming out soon. Do keep an eye on our X account. I know I say it over and over, but there is genuinely some pretty good stuff getting posted on there. We do our best.
Wow.
So here we go. Watching back the replay of 5 seconds to go.
Yep.
Was at least very, very clean getting off the pad, so I presume there's not going to be anything in the way of OLL improvements. Let's watch how much it kicks out.
I mean, fast,
That
man.
seemed more
It
violent
got
than usual,
up
didn't
there.
Ooh.
It got up there, dude.
it? Jesus. Were they running with higher thrust this time or something?
They did something different.
This is
Look at
oddly
that shell
fast.
coming off, though. That's crazy.
Christ, did it go that fast?
I mean,
like
no,
last
even
time?
the drone pilot didn't expect it. Look how fast he had to
Yeah.
tilt up here. My God. He was like, oh, okay. We're going. Wow. Yeah, that was quick, man. Brandon is no longer with us on voice chat, but I wonder if he noticed a significant difference in the speed with which it actually left the pad. I'm very curious to know from his perspective being down in Brownsville.
Raptor engines ignited. Boosters pushing us downrange over the Gulf. Next milestone coming up, and just
I have to say, I can't share what we're looking at right now just yet. But when I say we are looking at some incredible stuff, I mean it.
Yeah.
Just you wait until we get this video. I know it's a bit of a pain, but
we're moving with quickness.
We've seen a lot of crazy shit, and this is oh my god. The moment we have this, we're gonna put it up for you.
I'm still recovering.
We have a question in the chat from Trey9. Question for the host: do we think there will be a launch in around the same time frame for the next flight, similar to Flight 7 and Flight 8? Are you talking about like the time frame as in like a month and a half ish? I doubt it.
Next thing coming up is
I'm gonna be a doomer. I'm gonna say 4 months. Right now.
Woo! 4 months.
I'm being a doomer. I'm being a doomer because I think a problem this giant and severe is going to require so much testing and simulation. And in the meanwhile, they're probably going to find benefit from doing some other upgrades too. I don't think we're launching for a while.
My goodness.
You know what? I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm being a doomer now. I'm expecting the worst and hoping for the best, but I don't think this looks good.
That was rough.
Because that was an aggressive failure. That wasn't like all engines shutting down and a gentle FTS trigger. That was it tumbling out of control with an engine apparently exploding. That doesn't happen every day.
I mean, we saw it and we'll see it again. The onboards of ship there. You could see how fast it was spinning.
Serious. We've never seen a tumble like that on board. I think that's
and I mean all the
proper onboard tumble.
Yeah. And the fuel sloshing. You could see the fuel levels in the bottom right going crazy because it didn't know what was happening.
I mean, the live schematics that we get, it's super cool that they share this stuff with us. I mean, like, you don't have to share any of this info with us, but yeah, the fact that we could see that sloshing levels changing so significantly, and you know, we got that full tumble. They could have cut out on us and not shown that, but I mean,
my view. No, I see you saying 4 months is crazy. I agree it is a bit crazy. I'm just being a doomer. I'm pulling arbitrary figures out here, but I think the problem is, if this is the kind of thing that you need to rebuild your whole plumbing system for, right? You need to redimension everything, maybe change all of your pipe layouts. If this is something that major, I don't think you can properly build the next Starship until you figure that out, because that has knock-on effects for the rest of the ship. This is something that requires some serious time to nail down.
Especially considering that Raptor 3 is bigger, more ferocious, and more complex.
No kidding.
They cannot move on until they figure this. Well, I mean, they can move on. They can move on.
Blow something else up.
I'm very worried that they will move on.
I think now there's going to be a big discussion in like SpaceX and a business HQ, which is, are we willing to take the BR hit and get this done quicker? I don't think they will be.
No, I think they're learning I think I saw someone talk about this maybe yesterday or the day before, that I think they're quickly learning the difference between efficiency, quickness, and rushing. You know, it's. I think that with all the issues that they had, even yesterday with D-Stack, I mean, and them trying to do this 24-hour restack is just, it's so ambitious, which is great. But
SpaceX put out a statement.
Yep, I'll read it out now.
Here we go.
Boom, I'll read it out. During Starship's ascent burn, the vehicle experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly and the contact was lost.
Okay.
Our team immediately began coordination with safety officials to implement pre-planned contingency responses. We will review the data from today's flight test to better understand root cause. As always, success comes from what we learn, and today's flight will offer. Better understand?
That's better understand? I'd hope you know what's going on.
Yeah, you better understand.
Okay.
Better understand.
Okay. Well, it's over. It's over.
It's so over. All right. Well, we'll join you back next month.
Yeah, same time next month. Let's just check the chat here. While we were losing our shit, Coffee Candy joined as a Stage 0 member. Thank you very much. Very good to have you. Your support makes this possible, makes our depression possible, and it's going to fund Joey Leo's chain drinking and chain smoking later to cope.
Oh my goodness. Jacob in the chat said this can probably be fixed by just making the ship longer.
I agree. Add an extra 20 meters.
You know what? I think I think they can just fix this with Starlink. You know?
Starlink would fix this.
Listen, I
Starlink
think
just
they
fixes
honestly,
Starlink does fix this. Starlink
I think they
fixes
honestly just need more duct tape.
Yeah.
It fixes
WD-40.
everything.
Indeed.
Maybe they need to lubricate it better. Michael France is losing it as well. Hello, Michael. Welcome to hell. Joshua Ford says, "What do you think will happen to Ship 35 or whatever was planned from for Flight 9?" Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna get torn down and rebuilt. I'm not gonna lie.
Not gonna. I mean, what I think it's gonna have to be another replay of this flight profile.
Well,
Yeah, until they figure this out.
At least we get to rewatch the catch here, which actually went rather well, aside from the engine failures. The booster handled itself very, very well despite losing those engines. So the engines throttled to compensate with no problem. There's one engine out there. Sorry, it's one failure singular. So it handles it completely fine and switches back to free. Completely stable thrust vectoring. Look at how well tuned that is. Perfect.
We have David in the chat saying, back to something we were talking about earlier, just put some WD-40 on it.
That would indeed work.
Yeah.
That would indeed work.
They might need another can. And then M. Schmidt said, "Yo, just found you off some random Twitter interactions. Thank you. Welcome."
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want people to stumble across
Yeah.
us. We do
That's-
stream. We do stream fairly regularly, but not too regularly because we like to keep it special. So we will be here for the next launch, and we'll possibly have a silly stream in between then to keep you guys
Yes.
busy.
We also do, for everyone watching still, we do have a podcast called Beyond the Launchpad where we bring you behind the scenes about what we do to capture these incredible views. Thank you for being here. And yeah, if you guys are into podcasts, that is available in video format on our YouTube channel, as well as all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there.
Yeah.
Blue is heading out. Thank you very much for your company. Blue, it's great to see familiar face in chat. All the best, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
reminder:
says
we will
got a
have
word
very
every
many
flange
silly
shot.
streams. We will be funny. We will be funny and silly between this flight and the next one. We will
No,
have many
I'll
streams.
say
Don't
this
worry.
now. If you've got any ideas for audience interaction, tag us on X on Twitter, formerly known. Tell us what you think we should do for our next streams because we are looking for some interesting things to do. But that was a hell of a launch, man.
Wow.
Are we ready to
Coffee
spin?
Candy says, "Can I buy you all a drink and some chicken nuggets?" Funny you should say that.
We
because
are
you
go for
could buy us a
somersault.
coffee.
You? Yes, you could.
Go for somersault.
We are rewatching this somersault right now
Somersault
with
is
you guys.
normal.
Oh, has someone
God.
already edited
Say
this
that it's
Interstellar
not a
soundtrack?
nominal somersault.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
This is no time
Wow.
for caution.
Whoa. Yo, look at everything just like falling apart.
Oh my god.
Wow. You know, this is giving me deja vu to Felix Baumgartner's somersault mid skydive.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
similar. My goodness. Which I believe I talked about last stream.
We have a
We're on a
request from
podcast.
Zero G Prince to pull up T plus 7 minutes 44 seconds on the SpaceX stream.
Okay.
Emma, I believe that might be a
Emlyn,
point of
can you-
interest. If you'd like
Yeah.
to take a look at that.
Again, that was 7 minutes 44 seconds, Emlyn.
This slosh you can see on the
See what they were
propellant.
pointing out here.
Insane.
Yeah.
Were they just pointing out the engine bay shot? I mean, that's pretty fair.
Oh, it
That's
is pretty sick.
Let's watch this though, see if there's anything interesting.
Hey fellas, good news. We're about to clear all of our goals for impressions.
Joey Leal's message just got flagged for review because it's a single word. Fuck.
Yes. But we accepted it. We allowed it.
Jacob says, I do
Yeah,
remember when Felix Baumgartner disintegrated. Disintegrated? Oh yeah, that is a word for
Disintegrated.
that.
Oh
The
my
toxic
goodness.
chaos. My god.
Oh goodness.
Jesus, dude. Noel J says the engine bell is melting left one.
Oh wait,
Let's
what?
take a look at that. Emlyn, if we could
Back
move back
again.
to that shot, please, sir. Let's watch that left RVAC engine. See what we
take a
think
look.
about that.
Let's see here.
Okay, let's melt.
That is a hotspot.
Oh, yeah. That
There is a
lower
hotspot there.
right side of
Interesting.
the left engine. Wow.
There is a hotspot there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Watch to see if it develops at all and what time we have.
Huh.
That is.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. It does. Someone says it looks like there was fire. It does look like there's a bit of a red glow, doesn't it?
Indeed, indeed.
But I don't know if that's just the lighting
Hey,
playing tricks.
well, in some good news, since you guys did hit the 200 viewers live goal, I am going to change my photo to Dr. House for a while. So
Amazing.
Congratulations.
yeah.
Fantastic. Wow, what a
What
day.
a flight.
Woo.
What a week.
A week and a half for
That
What
does
is it?
actually. That
For
does
some
seem
of
like
us.
the. That does seem like the red of flames, but I'm not sure if that's a
Yeah,
camera
indeed.
effect or not. Joshua
Wow.
Ford says I thought the internal engines failed first on telemetry.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Well, we'll watch now and see. Let's watch the shutdown pattern of these engines and see exactly what happens. Yep, internal engines, and
There
that
you
one
go.
are back.
Wow.
And then there goes the keel, and then I guess those engines got shut down.
Yep.
Wild.
Oh my god.
That is absolutely gutting. It's pretty interesting to watch the locked and CH4 meters slosh around, though. It does show you that they're actually giving us genuine data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Because it's also genuinely bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Still waiting on that video, I'm afraid, from the space engineer, but once we have
Working
that,
on it. We are quite
that will
close.
be very, very good. Joshua Ford says if I've got the orientation mentally right. M. Schmidt says, can we figure out which engine exploded from the monitor shot? We are working on it. That video that we are about to get should very much help us. Emlyn says it will just be a few minutes until we get that. And I do believe him. The moment we do, we will be able to figure some more stuff out. It'll give us some more clues to the puzzle. That kind of investigation isn't for us to do on stream, though. That's for me to do with a coffee in my hand. Joey Little says TSC will now begin his insane deep dive. Yep, this is where it all goes wrong for him.
Oh yeah. No. We're not gonna see him for the next 6 weeks.
So, just a fun little tidbit, not related, well, kind of related. Friend of mine, Civilian Space, he's a 3D printer. He made some gifts for the Interstellar Gateway team. He 3D prints all kinds of stuff, but he made us some heat shield tiles, 3D printed, with the Interstellar Gateway logo on them. He just posted, I don't know if it's a bad omen, but my 3D printed Raptor just self-collapsed in my room.
Oh no.
Well, it's a bad day.
It's a bad time. Oh man.
Genesis says crazy they kept the Starlink connection while flipping for so long. This is the beauty of
Yeah.
having so many satellites, is there's always going to be a couple of them in view. And the phased array antennas in Starlink are very, very fast at responding because they're electronically steered. It takes milliseconds. So you
Yeah.
are able to get that incredible, just wonderful, continuous shot. They also
Excuse
have
me
a
for a
decent
moment.
buffer
My
on it.
cat
So.
is trying to be a trapeze artist and is going to fall off of something. Hold on.
No.
Yeah, not to bring not to like make a joke, but quite literally, Starlink did fix that.
Starlink fixed that. That's true. This is part of the goal of Starlink, to be fair, is most like launch organizations would lose telemetry completely the moment the flip started. They managed to keep it.
Yeah.
And they've gotten a whole bunch of data from that, which is some really good stuff. There are still 62 of you here. Thank you for sticking around. I will say now, we are looking at planning some rather funny streams. And I believe this is highly confidential information. I'm going to give you a tiny leak. There may be, at some point in the future, an Interstellar Gateway cook-off. I can't confirm or deny it. But you didn't hear it from me. But keep an eye out.
Exciting things are on the way.
Exciting things are on the way. Apparently, the space engineer's internet went out, which I feel like we're being sabotaged. It might be the ULA sniper.
Okay,
that-
I've returned.
Ryan
ULA
says,
sniper.
"Oh, we've got some good speculation in chat."
Ooh.
Ryan says, apparently Raptor 3 is removing heat exchangers and dumping ice into both fuel tanks. Where is that coming from?
Interesting.
I'm gonna need a source. Oh man, I'm gonna have to start putting on some music. I don't think I can handle this. You know what? While we're here, since it's devolved this far, go listen to Flying Beagle by Himiko Kikuchi. It's a wonderful kind of fusion jazz album, a Japanese one. Brilliant stuff. Just brilliant.
What
Might
is
need
the
to listen to that
genre?
later.
Fusion
what's the
jazz.
genre?
It's like jazz
Fusion.
that's also like rather. I can't describe it. It's like up tempo and in some parts a little bit. I can't describe it, man. It's good stuff.
If you're looking for a couple different genres, everybody, you can check out Joey Leal, our CEO, actually put out an album called Continuum, and it is absolutely beautiful cinematics music. I am also in a nerdy space band called Chasing Satellites if you want a more rock metal vibe for your crash out. And I believe Brandon is back in the voice chat. Brandon, we are still live, but if you want to say something, please.
Thank you for your comments, Brandon.
That was beautiful. Thanks for the update.
We've got Ryan with his source being Twitter. Now.
Oh, well, that's reliable.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This is unfortunately this is going to be a bit of downtime until we get this video. I'm hoping we get this video.
Indeed, but we're working on that.
We've got a music recommendation from Jacob. No way. Music from the Spheres by Sonny Simmons. Let me have a look right now.
Fun.
Music from the Spheres. Let's see.
To the title school, for sure.
Oh, there's a Coldplay album of the same name. That's gonna be confusing.
Of course.
Of course there is.
I was gonna say that sounds like the new Coldplay album.
What a great live band.
1968. That's nice.
Whoa.
I'll have to go back and listen to
Wait,
that.
was that the release date?
Minnesota Rail fan is asking, "Where's the Starship?" Oh, my sweet summer
It's
child.
everywhere. It's
It's
everywhere.
a lot of little pieces, and is now probably sinking to the bottom of the ocean, where it will remain for a long, long time.
They're just,
It's
you know,
gonna float.
more artificial reefs for the fishes.
Yeah, I mean, it is actually a good thing in that way, I suppose.
I mean, they're about to
answer your question genuinely. The booster did its job, lifted ship into a good trajectory, and landed perfectly. Unfortunately, the ship then, as you can see on your screen, appears to have had an engine explosion or something and started tumbling very, very, very fast. And then it blew up.
It did. And now,
This
like you
is
said, Kwok,
bad.
it will be in pieces in the ocean for the fishes. Similar to the
fishy pieces.
the SS United States, which will also soon be stripped and prepared for sinking to become an artificial reef
that's
off
true.
the coast of Florida.
Oh,
So it will join Starship off the coast of Florida.
Amazing.
I cannot wait to dive and see the SS United States. Oh my
Listen,
god. That's
as
gonna be
somebody
beautiful.
that wait, are you scuba certified anti-person?
I am.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna get my cert because I explore abandoned buildings and have wanted to do shipwrecks. So I will go with you.
I love that.
Make the whole-
Twin.
If I can
Make a
interrupt
make a whole thing about it. Go ahead,
I
Quan.
can interrupt the scuba talk. Werner von Kerman's back, and he says, "I hope your cameras caught that scary slide over to the tower." Believe me, Werner, I think we caught it. I think we caught it, and it's going to be absolutely meaty. Unfortunately, the PTZs appear to have been cooked. We're hoping that they're still in a good condition and that the antenna or something has just taken a beating, but unfortunately, it's not doing so well.
Yeah.
So
Spread
we did
out.
lose those.
Are we watching the somersault one more time, folks?
I suppose. We need to
Oh,
put the
why
Blue
not?
Danube over it, actually.
Need to do what now?
Put the Blue Danube over it.
Oh yeah, yes. So there is that curious engine glow.
I don't think that's meant to do that. What is
I don't
what is that
think-
component right there? That like stringer. What is that? The one that's glowing?
I'm not sure.
I'm not a
I'm not.
propulsion guy, you see, so
I'm just a videographer, man.
I'm an avionics man.
Yeah, true.
If you show me like an IMU plate, I'll be fine, but this is
Sure.
unfortunately very hot. Oh, we got £2 from Noel. Brilliant. I can get a sausage roll
Oh,
to,
thank
to calm the nerves. Hey, at least we got some cool tumbling footage. It was cool. It was
very
cool.
cool.
You're entirely correct. Ooh, I forgot about this. Emlyn has the capability to write on our screen. There are lots of little pieces.
Look
Oh.
at that, Emlyn, you
Oh,
genius.
no.
Little
Oh,
things on the screen.
Oh, there
And
are
Curious.
My
little
friends, those
pieces.
are not dust marks on the lens of the camera. Those are actual
Those
debris.
are black rocket
Or as
pieces.
we like to say,
Yep,
debris.
now they're gone. Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
If
That's
anything,
not
that was
great.
an omen.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, Starship, why do you do this to me? I just want you to succeed. That's all I want. David Anderson says that's probably a hole, much like the one that doomed Shuttle. Does seem like it, doesn't it? It does seem like it. It's an awfully bad place to have a hole as well, right near the tip.
Yeah.
Skeleton says Starship hit the firmament again. That's true. Firmament 2, Starship 0.
Crazy.
My goodness. How are you guys doing after this? What are you guys up to now? Are you making coffee? Are you doing your work? Or are you just staring at your screen, kind of mourning that loss? That's what I'm doing. I've got some nice music playing, but... David Anderson says that orange glow is a big fire. It may well be. It may well be.
I texted my friend in the UK and I said, the rocket exploded again. And he said, wait, I just realized what you said. That's not dope at all. What do you mean exploded?
Oh no.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I received two messages from my friend, which said, "It's going, Quantify," followed by "embarrassing, man." That is awful. This guy wasn't happy, mind you. He also said rapid testing, yet they never fucking fix anything.
Friends, we have just hit 9,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, would you look at that?
Are we still live?
Go.
That is
We are
good
still
stuff.
live. Yes.
Oh,
We are still
Okay.
live. Thank
so
you very
live.
much, guys, for your support, for the
Yes,
62 of
dude.
you who are still here. Oh, I
Emlyn,
suspect we might have something to play for you.
Emlyn, the video is in back channel.
TSE, we are still live.
I'm aware. It's fine.
Okay, good. Just like...
Leaking trade secrets.
Yes.
Here's a trade secret for you, actually. No one's ever said this about Interstellar Gateway. After we get the videos, what we normally do is put them into video editing software, and then we cut them up into little pieces. And then we serve it on a platter to you on our YouTube members page, which you can join by subscribing monthly.
Indeed. Do the
I
thing.
am currently in the process of reviewing some of said footage, as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as
Is it meaty?
still
Is it
images.
meaty?
I think we might be able to publish here shortly,
Okay.
and
How are they looking?
things are looking a little toasty, guys. Things are radiating some heat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good hate,
No, in a
good
good way.
heat.
In a
Like,
good way.
okay.
Not in a ship 34 kind of way.
I was gonna say, I thought the Canon R5 had like melted itself to pieces. And
No.
at this
He-
point, if you told me the Canon grew legs and walked away, I'd say yeah, checks out.
I mean,
Well,
Oh, man.
everything's shy of that, but heat in a good way. Like we got some bangers. We got
We
some
love heat.
bangers.
oh yeah, love to hear it. For everyone tuning in on the stream, that was Brandon, who is currently in Brownsville, reviewing footage, which is great.
We've just got a lot of chat messages here to go through. Phoenix says engine rich exhaust. I would agree. Joshua Ford says I'm surprised. It seemed like the remaining two RVACs got shielded by the internal engines. Seems like they did, which is actually quite a good thing. It shows some resilience. But what's not good is how they're being fueled. Leo is a backer. It's got some fun speculation here. If the methane flow to the engine is failing, that could explain the glow from affecting regenerative cooling. Possibly. I don't know enough about propulsion to say whether that's credible, so I'm going to believe you. Ray says I'm going to crash the fuck out. Aren't we all?
We're with you.
Aren't we all? We are so close to being able to share with you this video. This is actually the first time I will have seen it as well. And apparently this is some crazy stuff. If you are leaving us now, it's been very good having you. Please do take a look at our social media pages. We will post plenty of things on there, but stick around for just a minute because we are going to put something up that's worth sticking around for.
Wow. I mean, I keep saying it, but what a wild day. We do know, Noel, Jay, are you guys planning to make a Discord server? I believe we do have a public Discord server, no?
I believe it's
And I believe
members
it
only
might
now, is it not?
members only. But I
think
thought
it may
we
be.
had. Oh, interesting.
I
Never
don't
mind.
recall, but we have plans anyway.
We do. We do.
We will publish. We will publish more when we do.
Yes,
but we have
but
a lot of work to do, and reviving a Discord is not massively high in the
Right.
priorities at the moment.
Right. But Noel, if you want updates, we are currently working on a website, and if you go to interstellargateway.com, you can sign up for our mailing list to get all the latest updates on what we are working on and what we are doing.
On
Ali
top of that,
says-
follow us here on YouTube and X.
Please do.
Yes.
Please do. Callie says, I don't think I'd want to go on a crewed Starship without a launch escape system anymore.
Listen, strap me to the nose cone. I'm here for it.
tie me with ropes.
Listen, people ask me all the time, would you go to space? And I tell them I would die for it. You know, a bit morbid,
You know,
but
as a child, my dream was always to like colonize Mars someday, and I
Yeah,
still
man.
want to work on drones on Mars. You know, like
Oh.
little quadcopters and fixed wing stuff to help us.
yeah.
But now I'm not sure if
Absolutely.
I want to anymore.
Well,
I
wait till
think
wait
I
till
may
they
end
catch.
up in lots of
you
little pieces that the fishies like to eat.
Well, there's no fish on Mars, so I think you'd be not
I'll end
eaten
up in
by.
a lot of little pieces that the rocks will eat. With their protein. Much
Yep.
better.
There we go.
Felix says, yay for terminally online space nerds. I'm not that terminally online. I spent like 6 hours today building an avionics system. Come on. That's not awful. Leo says, I'm an electrician. I know fuck all about engines. It's just a guess. That's entirely reasonable, man. At this point, we'll take anything.
True.
There will be no hyper-technical analysis. Not right now. I'm still sad that we lost those PTZ cameras. They must have seriously
I'm
been
curious to
exposed
see
some
what they
crazy
look
stuff.
like. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta.
well, Ellen's recorded the content locally, so we can definitely look back at it.
Yeah, sure. And Brandon, please, if you're, I know you're in the voice chat right now. When you go recover the gear, please take some photos of the PTZs as they exist before you move them.
I will definitely
Well,
be doing that.
Thank you, sir. And enjoy the bumpy ride on the way to Starbase. That road is brutal.
Wait, sorry, this might be a little off topic, but you just reminded me. I haven't been to Starbase since maybe 2023. Have they still not fixed the road?
Oh. Dude, it looks like it gets hit by meteorites on a daily
Oh my
basis. It just
God.
keeps getting worse and worse and worse because, you know, all the LOX trucks go back and forth on that road. It's mostly on the way to Starbase, so the right side of the road is pretty bad. I mean, we've almost kind of flown off the road several times, especially when you drive out there at night. It's pretty dangerous until you hit, you know, you pass the state property line and get onto SpaceX land or road, and then it's smooth as butter, man. I think Elon just needs to expand, like, just fix the road. He just needs to pay for it to fix it.
Yeah.
But the problem is you can't really shut down that road to like repave, you know? Like I think that's the main issue. They just need to like expand the roadway, but again, there's, you know, preserved land and, you know, that's all environmental areas. So I don't know the process or the legality behind all that stuff. So it's yeah, I don't know. But they got to fix that road. It's insane.
My
Those
guess
trucks
is probably be under the proposal in turning Starbase to a city. That'll be probably one of the main infrastructures they'll want to improve.
Sure.
To create a city, quote unquote.
Yes. Which I am, by the way, excited about because I,
Oh, yeah.
for one, would like to mail people postcards from Starbase, Texas. Like that's gonna be sick, and we're gonna have our own photography on those postcards that people can potentially purchase at a post office at Starbase.
Absolutely.
We are.
That does sound pretty cool, to be fair.
Right?
Ooh.
All right, we are about to show you guys some craziness.
I haven't
tuned
even
shortly.
seen this yet, mind you.
Oh,
Me
I
neither.
downloaded it to
I'm
my
ready.
computer. It's nuts.
How nuts are we talking?
I mean, Scrat from Ice Age would be stoked.
Okay, that's pretty nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
Just off the cuff there with that one.
Anti-person is now following you. Who's this dickhead?
Oh, come on.
Who's this guy?
He's a great
With
guy.
a messed up haircut.
No, he's handsome.
It's a nice jacket, actually, to be fair.
Thank you.
It's very tidy. Oh. Oh, Lord. This is it, isn't it? Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming.
Here we go.
Here we go, guys. Watch this with us from our own space engineer.
Oh, whoa. Holy cow.
Oh my god.
Which one is it? It's the one that's making a bunch of puffs everywhere.
This is the one below it?
The one that's
especially those three inner ones, one of which we're going to hopefully relight a little bit later.
I don't know what that was. How are the engines?
And we just saw some engines
Two?
coming out.
That was what we saw. Oh, it's spinning. It's spinning.
Looks like
It's
we
spinning.
are losing control of the ship.
It's gone. It's dead.
No,
it's there. It's there. So we just saw it explode. That's what that was. Holy cow. FPS is safe, so it's not gonna.
So we're still getting video down from the ship. You can see we've lost several engines and we've lost attitude control of the vehicle.
I knew it. So this is gonna come up right over us. Yeah. Oh, holy cow. Dude. Oh my god. It's in pieces.
Oh god. I'm gonna change your camera to make sure we're getting
Yeah. It's spinning.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
There is
That's a
some-
spin. There you go.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Oh.
You can see
my
bits
god.
and pieces flying off. You see that?
That is a ridiculous shot.
ESE, do you want to jump in the voice chat and
How are the
talk about
engines? Is this still
seeing
one
this
lit?
in person?
Oh my god. It's so
It's like
bright.
a galaxy. That's ridiculous.
I can see
Yeah.
it's tracking pieces. I can see pieces falling off of it.
I think someone said this in chat, but it is hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, indeed.
My god.
We've essentially lost contact with the ship. We're no longer receiving.
We have LOS. Okay. So we're the only ones watching this thing right now. Oh my god. It's gonna re-enter somewhere. It's re-entering. Look at it.
It's wild
Look at
to
it.
see.
It's got a trail. Oh my god. Yeah, totally. I can see so many pieces tracking. Oh my god.
Crazy, man.
This is one of the best views anyone's got.
It's breaking up. It's breaking
Actually
up.
happening.
Seriously. And it's an IGW exclusive, baby.
Let's go! We're going to get TSE in here who filmed this shortly. He's just working on
There we
getting
go. That's all the
some stuff
pieces there.
uploaded to some other
There's
channels.
your trail.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Wow. The mad dash to go get the right angle.
Yeah.
Feel that?
Look at it go.
It's real. It's authentic, man. Wow, look at that.
Jesus.
Wow.
Might take this into stabilization software and see what I can do with it.
Sure.
This is crazy stuff.
Yeah. Hold LOS. Okay. Oh my god. Holy
God.
cow. In pieces.
Crazy.
I'm gonna change your camera. Yeah. It's spinning.
Crazy.
Holy cow. How are the engines? Is there still one lit? Oh my god. It's so bright. I can see it's tracking pieces. I can see pieces falling off of it. Oh my god. We have LOS. Okay. Oh,
What a
Wow,
frame,
that
man.
that
What a
is
frame. Genuinely astonishing. I don't think I have much to say on it.
Same. Yeah.
We pushed it
Again,
out
it's-
relatively quickly as well, so
Yeah.
I'm worried about what this says for Starship, man. Very, very worried. But it
Yeah,
does seem
suffice
like
to
they
say-
maintained telemetry for a long time, and they have a lot of good data from it at least. Seemed
Yeah.
like they will have had more than their previous failure, I think.
Exactly. I mean, it's definitely a setback for sure.
I told you I had a bad feeling.
Yeah. The vibes were off. The vibes were off this
Vibes were
entire
off, man.
week.
Too many things are going wrong. Nothing, to be fair. I think the only thing that went impeccably in this was the actual ignition and launch.
Yeah.
Which is not great. What's up, Brandon?
I'll give you guys a piece of insight here into something that could potentially be interesting. I'll say this as a disclaimer. I don't know exactly what it is that I'm looking at. It's very possible that what I'm looking at is a piece of ice on Ascent, which happens all the time because of liquid oxygen. They cool it down. They cool down the cryogenics to very, very cold levels, so ice does form in the vehicle during ascent. But what I'm looking at here is our launch footage from where I was standing in Starbase, and it appears to be a piece of debris.
Right.
It initiates off again, I'm going frame by frame here, and it initiates what appears to be off the back of ship 34. In and around the TPS area, the heat shield, and it falls through a grid fin, separates into chunks, and then a chunk appears to strike the lower end of super heavy, not on a Raptor, but close to the engine bell section. So that's interesting.
Is that, you reckon that'll be on video?
I am looking at our footage, and that's how I'm viewing it.
Oh, wow. That'll be good to see.
Frame by frame.
I can try and contrast boost that and check it out.
It'll take me a while to get this footage transferred, but
Okay.
as soon as I do,
when do you reckon it'll be there?
I should be able to get this footage transferred within the next day, because Interstellar Gateway is now in the cinematic phase of having to ship hard drives in order to process footage.
And-
so I've got a next day mail all of our footage out tomorrow morning.
After you copy it 18 times.
Probably.
Well,
okay. Much appreciated.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I
just
will
an
review it.
interesting tidbit. I happened to be sitting here in chat and looking at that, and thought our live stream audience might find that interesting.
Leo's mentioned something interesting here. Leo says, very interestingly, the booster was caught basically right over the launch mount, but the arms kept translating way over to the side after they caught it.
Interesting.
I wonder if we could possibly review the SpaceX footage, Emlyn, and take a look at that. Because that's an interesting point.
Oh my gosh! Wait.
What's
Yes,
up?
sir.
How long in the ascent? How long in the ascent did the explosion?
About the
happen
same as
on-
last time. Eight
About
8 minutes.
minutes-ish?
Okay, so everything was good like pretty shortly after separation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What I'm looking at is different then.
Let's have a look at this booster catch and see what this behavior is, because this might be something intentional that's quite interesting. Could be some kind of protection mechanism. Let's see. We're down to 3 engines, all well and good. A bit of fire there, wow.
Yeah.
Let's watch the arms, watch what they do. Oh yeah, they are moving.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Whoa, why?
Interesting.
They're moving quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Is it trying to make sure it doesn't fall onto the launch mount if something goes wrong?
Maybe. Like some mitigation.
Yeah.
It is also, you know, going towards the road rather than the rest of the
That's true as well.
Yeah.
Why did it do that? That's really interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, Zoislite says that maybe they were testing the limits of booster catch. Could be that. Could be seeing how quickly they can swing it out safely, but that is big movement. This is an interesting launch. There's a lot we can pick apart here. Do we know if the space engineer is going to be joining us, or is he quite occupied?
I think he's pretty busy right now trying to
I
get some
reckon.
stuff.
I reckon
Definitely.
He's got enough on his plate.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'm not going to call it a day here. I'll be
I think
honest,
so.
we've been streaming for quite a while now, and
yeah.
this has been a strange experience. Well, in the 3 hours we've been streaming, thank you guys very much for... Actually, no, 4 hours. Christ. Thank you very much for sticking along, everyone. Has been an interesting experience. Do check out our socials at Interstellar Gateway. We are on X, we're on Instagram, or of course on YouTube, on Facebook as well, I believe. So check us out across all of those. Do give us a follow, subscribe, join as a member if you'd like. If you don't want to, that's completely fine as well. Just keep an eye on what we do because there's an awful lot of it. We'll start publishing some of these shots at the moment we can. Literally, as soon as this footage gets uploaded to the cloud, I'm going to start color grading and publishing. So keep an eye out. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Thank you for sticking around as well. Cheers, Noel. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
All the best, guys.